Every year, over 100 million people go through passport control to get into Britain. Most are welcome and legal. Many are not. For the first time on television, we go behind the scenes with the UK Border Agency, the men and women on the front line of immigration. Tonight, the chicken factory full of illegal workers.
Hey! Everybody stay calm! Everybody stay very, very calm!
Rush hour at Calais.
Hey, we got another one.
Brings human traffic jams.
Okay. 3 times in, what, 5-10 minutes? Busy morning here.
And raising the bar at Heathrow. A law student struggles with an immigration test.
Explain to me why you don't have a return ticket.
I don't have any intention of staying here.
I didn't ask that the question. I said, why do you not have a return ticket?
At 8 a.m, the port of Calais, France. Hundreds of lorries are preparing to board ferries bound for Britain. But some have unwanted cargo. Illegal immigrants trying to get into the country. An Anglo-French deal in 2004 allowed UK immigration teams to be based on French soil for the first time. Their aim? To stop the clandestines, as they call them.
All the way through.
Yeah, let's find it back.
And it seems clear, this one.
Officer Bridget McCarthy has been stationed here for over 4 years.
You got your passport handy?
She has a special tool adapted from a ski pole that detects breathing.
This is a CO2 probe, and in plain English, anything in there that's breathing will be picked up. And so we'll get readings. What you have to do on here is watch how the readings fluctuate and what levels. We know what limits we go to, and if we want the vehicle open, as we class it to be a high CO2 reading, we get the driver to open it up.
They find most clandestines here in the search bays. But there's a report in of a lorry that's not been checked here, and is now just metres away from boarding a ferry.
Right, we're going down to the berths. We've had a call to say that ECS have had a find of 5 inside a vehicle.
The clandestines could be just moments away from boarding.
Oh, they'll be distraught.
Bless them.
Yeah, they'll be distraught. Especially when they think they're so close.
The team work closely with the French.
Bonjour.
Handing anyone they catch into their custody.
Players? Driver?
They think they're hidden deep inside this lorry load of tyres.
How far down are
We don't know. I'm going to get some ladders and get up there.
Can you just do a registration check for me, please?
But they're in there somewhere. They're in there at the back there somewhere, yeah.
We're not sure.
5, we think.
He's not sure.
No one has a ladder. Only one way in.
You don't mind? By all means, yeah. I'll hold the gear then. You two lads, get in there. Brilliant. Good strong men. Up for there, Dave. We will get a ladder for him. Just tell him stay there 1 minute. What nationalities do you think we got, Toff?
Indian.
Indian.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Got at least 6 people up here.
There you go.
Excellent.
Buried amongst the tyres, the immigration officers have found more than they first thought.
Okay, he speaks English. This guy here speaks English.
7 Indian men.
Still shot.
You know, basically right at the very bottom, how they got down there and how they ever think they're going to get out.
Hello, guys. You okay? Where'd you get in Belgium? Belgique?
Belgium.
Ah, Belgique. How long you been in? How long?
This morning? Yeah. What time?
And you haven't got any documents on you guys? No passports? No papers from the French? How can you get to England with no passports? Be careful. That's it. Excellent. It's not very nice. The load's very uneven. They're all over the place, and we've got a duty of care for these guys, so we've got to get them down as soon as possible. Just stand there for me, good man.
Yeah, the sailing, by all accounts, is off at 8:45 British time. So I don't know. I haven't got a clue what the time is now, but as you can see, the ferry's coming in. They're We're 150, 200 yards away from getting on the boat. Look, guys, look. So close.
But there's little time to hang around.
How many in the other load?
6, I think.
6 Indians?
Another report of more clandestines. On another lorry that's also about to board.
Go back, weren't they?
I'm sure we're just waiting to confirm on the lane number. So we're going to leave this vehicle and head over here now and sort this one out as well. Okay.
While the Indian men are taken to a holding room, the team are going full steam ahead.
Bad morning. All kicks off at 20 past 8.
It's 8:30 a.m. and it's all go in Calais.
Bonjour.
Officer Bridget McCarthy and her team have already found 7 clandestines, metres away from boarding a ferry to Britain. Now another close call. Clandestine cargo that's ready to board.
We've just been called to another find here with Eritreans, and we're going to deal with that now.
She got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She got offloaded.
What we've got here is Eritrean nationals. They're not great, they're not compliant at all, so they won't be like your Indians that we've had. Hello, sir. Thank you. That's 7, this will be 8. Lane 105.
Yet more calls come. There's been another find.
We've just been told that there's another positive in lane 1, so we'll have to deal with these and we'll move on to the next one. Very busy morning.
The team are stretched, but they won't leave until every inch of the lorry has been searched.
That's it. Good man. How you doing?
Their persistence pays off.
Okay. Stay there. Don't stay there. Thank you. I think the hat might give it away.
Stay there, come on.
The first vehicle over there with the tyres is unstable to move back. We're trying to get it tied up as best as possible, and we will be taking that back.
Wait. Good man.
The same thing will happen with this vehicle here. We've just been given another call to go to lane 1. 3 times in, what, 5-10 minutes? Busy morning here.
In total, they found 15 people in the last 15 minutes. And outside the port, hundreds more ready to take their place, in search of work with British employers who are ready to break the law by hiring illegal immigrants. Companies who flout immigration law can be found all over Britain, and they're not confined to the big cities. In the Midlands, over 70 law enforcement officers are preparing to raid a chicken factory they suspect are employing illegal immigrants.
Harm reduction, both nationally and...
It's 10 a.m. at the briefing for this massive operation.
We've received information which has been assessed by the UKBA and the police that's identified up to 70 foreign nationals who are immigration offenders or suspected of being as such.
Immigration officers have teamed up with the police, the Human Trafficking Centre and other government agencies. They're after illegal workers and their employers.
In bringing people in from former Soviet Union countries by providing them with false documentation, is offering them new identities.
They're preparing for tough conditions. The Chief Immigration Officer has been on hundreds of enforcement raids, some more dangerous than others.
It'll actually be me that enters the production floor and basically instructs all the workers to put their knives down. We've seen approximately 58 employees enter the premises this morning. For every illegal worker, the employer could face a fine of up to £10,000.
This one. Yes. Yes. Go, go, go.
to conduct a search of these premises today.
Police! Police officers, everybody stay where you are! Everybody stay where you are! Stay where you are! Everybody stay calm! Everybody stay very, very calm!
The first job is to make the factory safe. Each worker has a razor-sharp knife, a necessary tool of the trade, but a potential hazard on an operation like this.
Okay.
Yeah, just at the minute we're securing the premises to make sure all the officers are safe. And that means getting rid of all the knives and putting all the subjects to the left and right of the building, and nothing can happen in the spur of the moment, basically.
Okay, is there anybody here that's British? If you are, then could you put your hand in the air? If you're British, put your hand in the air. Nobody British.
The immigration team has a lot to search. They have to be fast and careful.
United Kingdom Border Agency!
Officer Carl Mason secures the top floor to seal off possible escape routes.
Excellent, fantastic. Can you take this seat for me, please?
I am. I'm just going to get my coffee and go for a fag meal.
OK, well, you're going to have to stay in here for the time being. Basically, what's happening now is the outer cordon's on, stopping anybody running away. We're sweeping downstairs, which is going to be the hardest bit because you've got all the workers down there, and we're just sweeping these offices.
I'm not going anywhere, John.
That's OK, no worries.
Just trust me.
I trust you implicitly.
Andy, if you can just identify whether there's anyone British over there.
On the ground floor, the chief immigration officer and his team are trying to establish the workers' nationalities.
All right, but everybody on the production line is a foreign national, as far as you're aware. All right, thanks very much.
You stop there, fit in there for me, OK?
It would appear that every single worker bar one is a foreign national. So the next thing that we'll be looking to do is try and identify which ones of those come from an EU country, because again, they'll be not be subject to immigration control.
Sir, where are you from? What country? What country are you from? What country are you from? Afghanistan, Iraq?
No, understand.
Nationality? Romania?
Keep moving down, please.
The chief has his own method of finding information.
And did you all move up from London together then? Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Play the nice guy.
What sort of jobs did you do in London? Security. Oh, right. So totally different then. Yeah, at the end of the day, if we don't come across too forceful, then more often than not, they'll just have a chat with us, and we can get a lot more information that way. What made you come and work for a chicken company then?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know? What were you told you were going to come and do?
Just to take care of chickens, that's it.
Oh, so you thought you'd be feeding them? I think they're a bit past feeding now. He was promised a job up here. That is quite important to us in that there are several allegations that maybe people are employed by this company. Some are given to believe that they'll be doing different types of work to what they actually end up doing.
Back upstairs, Carl Mason's team have found rooms which you wouldn't expect to find in a chicken factory.
Hello, sir.
Back rooms which look like they would have been chilled freezer units, chiller units, been used as accommodation for obviously people who are working on site. And just looking at the rooms, they're clearly not intended for this.
They find 4 small rooms, each with 2 beds, personal items, and other material.
What appears to be sort of counterfeit pornographic DVDs, depictions of bestiality. So, I mean, they're clearly illegal, so on police advice they're going to be seized and disposed of.
So far, the operation is posing more questions than answers. 69 people turned up to work here this morning, many of them suspected of being illegal workers. Back at Calais, and the morning rush hour shows no sign of slowing up.
So we've had Indians, Eritreans.
Yeah.
What do you think we got here?
This time, a more unusual find. Hiding in the cargo, an entire Vietnamese family.
Hey, Hello, speak English? Any passport, documents?
Is it a family?
Thank you.
Family, yeah? All family.
In this particular load, we've got 5 Vietnamese, 3 are female. So when the escort team come, we'll get them out as soon as possible, get them into detention where they're safe.
The family had obviously heard about the breathing detectors. They had a plan to try and deceive them. A dangerous plan.
So they will actually put plastic bags over their heads, risk their own lives, you know, in order to get to the UK. It's tragic, really, but it happens, and you can see it here. Day in, day out, we see it.
You think you're wrapped in that bit of plastic, and your head's covered as well. Your oxygen and whatever else isn't going to last very long.
Do you want to just jump down for me? Excellent. Oh, that's fine. So wait there, no problem, stay here with me.
No air holes in that at all. They're just full of air. I mean, this lady obviously looks quite drained and tired looking, doesn't she? So I think she's obviously suffering from effects of not having much oxygen by being wrapped in one of these.
Well, I think they actually board.
This lorry was just about to go on.
That's where they go on. If you can see, you've got one just going down there now. So they were so close, so close to getting on.
For these people.
And another call comes through. People have been found on a boat. Not a ferry, but smaller and faster. In the search bay is a truck carrying expensive yachts and stowaways. The chief immigration officer sends his crew inside.
You can clearly see how they've actually got into this load. They've just basically slit the back and they've actually got inside the main body of the boat.
All right.
There's 4 in there at the moment, but there could be more. And obviously we're going to have to search the ones on the back of this trailer as well.
Hi there. You all right? Okay. Come out now.
What I want to do is make sure this ladder's secure when they get down. Okay, you be careful.
Hi there. Oh, careful. Mind your head. Okay.
Around 50 ferries leave the port of Calais every day. Each one an opportunity to reach British soil.
In 1.5 hours, 31 found in 6 separate finds at different locations. So I think your team and our team are working very hard this morning.
Yes, yeah, it's a good job.
There were 31 clandestines found in 2 hours. They were handed over to the French police. Their whereabouts now is unknown.
If you could just go up these stairs, and then it's just up to the right, please.
It's time to process the workers at the chicken factory.
Yeah, that's fine.
Of 69 employees, 68 will be questioned about their nationality and their rights to work here.
This is your last one? That's a go. We've counted about 30 people that have admitted not being EU nationals. However, we have a lot of subjects that are Romanian, Bulgarian, and when they joined the EU, certain restrictions were put on their employment. They couldn't just come and work like a Spanish person can. They have to have registration cards to work. So what will be interesting now on the questioning upstairs will be, have you got the relevant documentation to work legally in the UK?
That's fine. Come through.
On big operations like this, the officers confiscate personal items like mobile phones.
Yeah, basically we've had incidences where we've allowed people to use a mobile phone in a factory or a house, and what they've done, they've called the friends or protest groups, and they've come round and basically it's caused a major incident where we've got protesters outside the house preventing us getting anybody out. We've arrested.
All the foreign workers are kept under close guard in the canteen.
We're going to have 10 at a time, weren't we? So we need some more. We need some more, don't we?
In the corridor next door, they set up a makeshift office to interview the workforce. With their mobile fingerprint machines and some interpreters, the detective work begins. Illegal immigrants will be arrested and face being removed from Britain. But who will stay and who will be leaving? In the Midlands, immigration officers are onto something big.
Border agency have got a warrant.
They've raided a chicken factory and apprehended 68 foreign nationals, all being closely watched in the canteen. The next phase is to check names and ID against the Home Office database to see who is working here legally or otherwise. So far, they've found 14 different nationalities, and interpreters are in short supply.
Elia, there's no point in trying to tell untruths about your situation. There's nothing to be frightened about. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to get one of my colleagues to.
So what basis have you asked to stay in the UK?
The stakes are high. Illegal workers face being removed from Britain.
Your immigration status in the UK, why have you came to the UK?
Officer Andy Watt questions a Romanian. To understand him, she has an interpreter.
So you have no national insurance card now?
Romania is new to the EU and has restrictions on it. She's allowed to be here, but requires a registration card in order to work.
The next question is, how many hours do you work here every week? Okay. Can I ask you, how much are you paid here per hour?
So I don't know how much is per hour, but it's around 250 per week.
200, 250 per week, yeah?
She says she's been earning between £200 and £250 a week and working 50 to 60 hours. This is less than a legal minimum wage. But if she hasn't got a registration card, she faces a hefty penalty.
Are you paying a debt off to anybody for coming to the UK? No? Okay. Has your employer here ever threatened you in any way?
Hold your breath. Well done.
Upstairs in the factory's makeshift bedrooms, officers are searching the workers' belongings.
Leave it all there a second. Okay. If you take a seat there.
I've only got one for some reason.
They've already found fake ID cards and arrests have been made. They discover the woman being paid below the minimum wage is Romanian, but she doesn't have a worker's registration card.
Yes. Because you're from Romania, okay, certain restrictions are put on Romanian nationals working in the UK. Okay, and as such, you should have a work permit, a registration card to be in the UK. Okay, now there's a penalty notice for you working illegally in the UK. Okay, and the penalty amount that you will be fined is £1,000. Okay. The fixed penalty will go on your name, your date of birth and your nationality. That will be you, okay? So if you give me any wrong details on your postcode or address, it doesn't matter to me, okay? The penalty goes on your name and it will follow you about until you sort that penalty out.
She's free to go and will be able to work legally as long as she gets the right papers. The canteen is full of people waiting to be interviewed. Some less worried than others. Heathrow Airport, the main gateway into Britain. Officer Steve Hassler has the job of sorting out the genuine tourists from those who want a permanent holiday.
your fault. Okay.
This woman is claiming to be a visitor, but she's been flagged up on the database as having been refused entry to Britain in the past.
But you understand why we have to do this, because you've had that previous refusal. And it's always going to cause problems, unfortunately.
She's no stranger to Britain. She went to school here for 4 years,
I mean, that's what we're
until her
doing
father's
now.
work permit was cancelled and her family were removed.
Anything to declare to customs? Nothing, no, like 1,000 cigarettes or nothing like that? Okay, all right. She's been refused entry, or she was refused entry, back in August of 2007. Her father was here on a work permit. It's a bit sketchy, but it was curtailed back in February of 2007. She claims now she's come here to pick up some certificates, her GCSE certificates, from the examining board. She claims that she had sent for them, paid for them, they were sent in the post, but they were never received. The only thing is, she doesn't have a return ticket. Why would somebody come on a two-week visit without a return ticket? That's a little bit strange. Is it Lahore you're from, yeah?
Yeah.
What do you do there? Studying?
Yeah, I'm studying law.
Law? Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Immigration law?
No, I'm trying to stay away from that.
Okay, don't worry.
Nothing personal.
No.
That's my university card.
Excellent, I'll just borrow that as well. You get that back.
I don't have any cash or anything.
No cash. What about credit card? No credit card? So you got nothing at all? So how are you going to survive initially?
My family.
Your family friend.
They'll help me out.
Her claim to be picking up certificates to take back to Pakistan doesn't quite add up.
Well, it's just this fact, she's got a single ticket, she's got no money, and she hasn't actually arranged for these certificates yet.
You see, I don't get this part, because she and her entire family have been refused entry. Okay?
Yeah.
They've previously been living here, 4 years.
Yeah.
Further to that, they appealed and went down the human rights line as well. So they're kind of well aware about how things work in the UK.
Things work, yeah.
So then to send a family member alone on a single ticket with no money doesn't stack up.
A closer look at her luggage doesn't improve her chances.
At the back, I've just discovered some old pay statements, and I just went out to the control and spoke to her. I said, well, why have you got these certificates with you? You know, if you're just coming to get... and she said, oh, well, it's just all my documentation that I had when I was in the UK. But there's P45s as well.
Now I'm a little unhappier because these are documents that are not necessary at all
relevant
to obtain a course in Lahore.
Exactly.
It's question time for the law student. Officer Hassler wants answers.
It's not looking good, all right? I won't lie to you, because I can't understand why you've not brought any money with your tickets. We're going to have to come through this way, all right? And the fact of the matter, you've got £2 on you, you've got no credit cards, you've got no return ticket, you've brought other documentation, which, to be quite frank, you shouldn't have brought with you. I can't understand why you brought it with you.
This interview will decide whether or not Officer Hassler returns her on the next flight home.
So why did they just buy you a single ticket? I can't fathom this out, because why would they buy you a single ticket and also send you their daughter halfway across the world with just £2 coins in the purse?
I don't have any intention of staying here.
I didn't ask that the question. I said, why do you not have a return ticket?
Because I didn't know what date exactly I would go back.
She said she didn't know how long she was going to be here. It was going to be 2 or 3 weeks. And I said, well, why didn't you get an open ticket? I says, we have many times people come here. And she says, oh, yeah, I found about that on the aircraft. I hadn't heard of open tickets.
She didn't know about open tickets?
Didn't know about open tickets.
This is a young lady who's lived in the UK and has clearly
travelled before, but didn't know about
open tickets.
We get people coming here all the time who are coming as visitors, and if they don't have return tickets, they don't have money, they'd just be refused. It's not credible. You're coming here as a visitor, but yet, you know, you've got no evidence of support whatsoever. You said that you're going to come here, get these GCSE certificates, but yet you've come with all this documentation, and you would need that sort of stuff if you want to settle here. You've even got your, you're shaking your head, but in your wallet you had your national insurance card, which you had your national insurance number in. Why would you bring that to the UK?
I just brought my wallet with me.
But then we start going into things like her previous bank statements here, mobile phone accounts, in previous interviews with Job Centre Plus, certainly with regard to her documentation, she has literally packed up everything, put it into a folder. It's as if she's picked up her life, brought it here. And I think we've got to remember this. I mean, the family had lived in the UK since 2002. The father had been working here. She's had most of her informative years here. Like I said, she's been a student here. She'd got a job. She'd taken her exams. And then all of a sudden, for no fault of her own, the rug's pulled out from under her feet and she's forced back to a country that she probably hasn't lived in for a number of years. And all of a sudden, she's left, you know, thinking, well, where's it all gone? Okay. Just want to... Right. The decision is that you're going to be refused entry, okay? You're coming in as a visitor, but you've got all this documentation which pertains nothing to why you want to come here regarding your education. Now, if you want to come back to the UK, you can, but what I would advise you to do is get an entry clearance visa, okay? You can still go and ask for a visit visa or a student visa, whatever you want to do, but rather than you having to come here and go through all this, it means you go to the embassy, you put all the evidence in front of them, and you allow them to make the decision. I feel sympathy for her because I know what the impact on her is going to be. But at the end of the day, we've got to look at what we're doing with regard to, you know, the border control and making sure people coming here are coming here for a genuine reason and not ending up doing something else. For this time, I'm afraid you're not going to be allowed in.
For us to say she's accepting this notification.
At the chicken factory, the investigation is in full swing.
So we'll start again, we'll start slowly. This is your one and only chance for you to tell me the truth.
They're finding more fake documents.
Is this some sort of joke?
And more resistance to the immigration officer's questions.
I'm going to say it in English. This lady's going to say it in Romanian, okay? Either way, you'll understand it. If you don't start answering the questions, I'll arrest you. All right?
A pattern is emerging. A lot of workers claiming to be from Romania. The immigration team isn't convinced.
It's definitely a trend here in that an awful lot of what we believe are Pakistani nationals have produced Romanian identity documents.
I'm more Romanian than you.
What we'll be seeking to identify is where they got those documents from. Perhaps they're linked to the employer and perhaps they're not. But at the end of the day, that's a lot of interviews that we've got to do to establish whether that's a fact or not.
So you say you're Romanian?
Yeah, Romanian.
How did you qualify to be Romanian?
This man says he's from Romania and his work papers are up to date.
Are your mother and father Romanian?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they were born in Romania, were they? Yeah.
Officer Mason gives the Romanian a simple geography test.
Okay, tell me which countries are next to Romania?
Moldova.
Moldova.
Bulgaria.
Bulgaria, yeah. Well done, yeah. Any more? Yeah, any more countries next to Romania?
There are 5 countries that border Romania.
I won't give you any more details because I don't think it's going to be worth it.
And no records of this man's right to work.
You are not Romanian.
I'm not Romanian.
I know you're not Romanian. Yes, I know. So, what's your nationality?
What?
Where are you from? What country?
What country?
Yeah.
I not understand.
Okay.
My English is not in...
Your English was brilliant when we started. Do you speak Romanian?
Yeah.
You wait there. I'll get a Romanian interpreter.
You?
I will get a Romanian interpreter.
Your spider sense is tingling.
Yeah.
The next test, can he speak Romanian to an interpreter on the phone?
Explain to him in English. Marion, that gentleman speaks Romanian. You say you're a Romanian. You've only been here 1 week. I'm from Romania. Please speak to him.
Noroc. Noroc. Bilal Kore. Ai. Yeah.
Just making noises.
Hold on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That side.
Hello, sir. Okay, sir, I'm very sorry to have wasted your valuable time yet again. Well, thank you very much for your help. Okay, sir, cheers, thank you, bye. Okay, that's a Romanian interpreter. He says you're not speaking Romanian, he says you're speaking, well, nothing really. Marion. I know Marion's not your real name, but let's just stop, all right? Stop all the lies now, okay? I'll give you this one opportunity to start telling me the truth. Where are you from?
No, I am. You check identity.
Okay, no, I'm not bothered about your identity card. You've told me you're Romanian. You can't tell me the capital. You can't tell me what monetary units are used over there, okay? At the moment, all you're doing is getting yourself into trouble, okay? So what nationality are you? Don't insult me and tell you're Romanian.
No, I am not.
Okay, I believe you've entered the UK illegally. What's going to happen now is my colleague's going to arrest you. You'll be taken to a police station where you'll be interviewed further. Andy, can you arrest this guy, please?
Of the 69 employees, 19 were arrested, 4 have been removed. A further 10 are expected to follow once the paperwork is ready. The employer is fined £60,000. 5 were charged with possession of false documents, and the man who claimed to be Romanian has since absconded. Heathrow, Terminal 3. Immigration officer Kay Lomas is on the desk screening passengers.
Hello, sir. Where are you travelling from today?
From LA.
Okay. Do you live there or?
I live here.
And what do you do here?
I'm a student.
Tell me the whole title of the course.
Yeah, it says postgraduate.
Yes.
Certificate Business Administration.
Right.
It's MA. It's a Masters of Business Administration.
Well, there's a difference between a postgraduate certificate in business administration and a master's in business administration. Which one is it?
It's a postgraduate certificate in business administration.
Is that a master's course?
It's master's course.
It can't be.
Okay, I got a letter. I found.
Yes.
When are you returning? 17th April.
I am quite wary of some students in the UK. As we know, it's very expensive to be a student in the United Kingdom. The fact that he was a bit mixed up about what he was studying, whether it was a master's or a postgraduate certificate, I don't understand why that would be an issue.
Okay, so we're about to take your photograph. You want to look directly into this camera here for me, please.
Officer Neil Newbury is questioning another student whose story doesn't add up.
The immigration officer asked you some questions about your course, and you did not answer them sufficiently well for him to be convinced that you're studying in the UK.
He's already carried out a bag search. He found a diary with some revealing entries.
He's talked an awful lot about work, and he's not once mentioned his modules, his studying, any of his tutors. He's not mentioned any of them, which is quite strange if you're here to study. Sainsbury's is going down every day. He's doing only 2 or 3 days in Sainsbury's. Now he's having to find a second job.
2 men, both claiming to be students of business administration. To find out if they're genuine, officers Lomas and Newbury will have to do their homework.
Can you tell me what you've learnt in human resource management?
What I study?
What you have studied.
There is a 2 part. One is employee and another one is employer.
Yes.
Okay. And if something wrong with the employee and employers, they need to advise one HR manager or some HR consultant to get the sorted out these things.
And what does the HR manager do? What is their role?
What is the role?
And where do you study?
Central England. Oh, I have too much.
You know that I didn't sleep last night. What should I say? I forgot everything. I don't know. What should I say?
So you're saying you can't remember where your college
No,
is?
I know that, I know.
HR rules means for a company, the managing full staff.
Tell me about financial reporting.
A good result for this student. Not so good for this one.
Okay, I just want to show you something from your book in your bag. Dated 18th of February 2008. I know you wrote it down, yeah? And see what I've underlined? 18th February 2008. I'm doing only 2 and 3 days in Sainsbury's. Now I'm finding a second job. So you're going to start telling me the truth now, or we're going to keep going around the houses? Were you working in Sainsbury's 2 or 3 days a week?
Can I explain you personally? But not in front of camera, I'm telling you personally.
Slowly, he started to open up to me and explain what he's done. His family are in financial difficulty back in India. That their house was being repossessed by the bank. And I do have some sympathy with him in that situation. It's mainly the enforcement of the rules that we're concerned about, unfortunately. And in this case, you have broken the rules, the immigration rules. So for that reason, your visa is going to be cancelled today. I'm going to return you back to India on the next available flight, which is this evening at 9:25.
Officer Newbury's passenger has failed to get into Britain. It's a different story for Officer Lomas.
Oh, yes, sir. He's a student. We are happy to readmit you to the United Kingdom today.
Thank you.
Right,
Thank you so
okay,
much.
sir, that's okay. Good luck with the rest of your studies and your job.
Yeah, thank you.
It's nice when you've done your inquiries and at the end of it you're satisfied with the result and you know that the right thing has been done. He is a genuine student and I'm happy that, you know, that I've done my inquiries and I'm satisfied with that and he can come in.
As this case closes, more flights arrive and hundreds more passengers fill the arrivals hall. It's back to the desks of the immigration officers and back to work. Every year, over 100 million people go through passport control to get into Britain. Most are welcome and legal, many are not. Tonight, for the first time on television, we go behind the scenes of the UK Border Agency, the men and women on the front line of immigration. Coming up, the chef who doesn't cut it at Terminal 3.
Everything suggests to me that you're coming to the United Kingdom to seek and take employment here.
Cat and mouse at the port of Calais.
Nationality? Iran? Iran.
And in London, an illegal worker from Nigeria is told he'll have to go home.
If I've been deported to Nigeria, they will kill me.
Terminal 3, Heathrow, the UK's busiest port. Everyone who arrives here requires a valid passport and a valid reason to enter the country. Stamping passports today is Officer Steve Hassler. He joined immigration after a career in the RAF.
And how long have you been away?
It's his job to spot people trying to enter or stay in the UK illegally. With 50,000 passengers a day arriving at Terminal 3, he can only ask each person a handful of questions to find out if they are genuine.
What are you doing in the UK?
I'm a student.
Where do you study?
Full of business study.
Okay, have you got your student ID card I could have a look at?
This man is returning to Britain after visiting a sick relative in Dubai. To prove he's a student, he produces some university certificates.
So how long have you been in the UK now?
3 years.
3 years. Okay, tell me about interactive business skills. What's that?
The business skills is called business is a course literature about the business.
No, I want to know, you got an A in interactive business skills, one of your exams, so tell me what is interactive business skills?
for the interactive business skills. Interactive business skill is a skill, it's a subject, isn't it? It is a subject.
Well, you got an A in it, so it must have been a subject.
That subject, yeah, it was everything explanation. All about the business. It's basically the business subject, isn't it?
Just last October, you got an A in it.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me what it is.
Officer Hassler asked the passenger to wait,
Watch your bag.
while he refers to Chief Immigration Officer Rick Lindsley.
I said, well, talk to me about business interactive skills. Couldn't say a word otherwise, oh, it's business. Asked him about introduction of IT or costing accounting. He says, you know, couldn't do anything, couldn't even mention it. He doesn't even look like a student. I pushed on the fact about his work as well, and he's like standing there, and I said, look, are you definitely not working? And he was like, no, definitely not. I mean, he was thinking
not
about...
Not working at all?
No, nothing at all, so I mean,
what
that's...
do you want to do?
Certainly want to do his bag. I've got a name of a cousin who is downstairs, so I'll give him a quick call and just see if he corroborates anything he's told me as well. But he came up and he was sort of being very chatty, and sometimes people do that to try and sort of catch you off guard and stuff, possibly. You get colleges, as they call themselves, or educational institutions that will provide these letters, types of letters, so people can get these resident permits, and this is what this guy's on. He came here originally on a student visa. He's then submitted documentation, probably letters like this to show that he's doing, good study, but clearly he hasn't done the exam because he can't talk about it. Not that I'm prejudging, of course.
Officer Hassler may have his suspicions, but he needs some facts to back them up.
Hi, this is immigration at Heathrow Terminal 3.
He starts by calling the man's cousin.
And what does he do in the UK? Student.
The passenger has told Officer Hassler that he studies in London and doesn't have a job, not even part-time.
So he working as a taxi driver? Just spoke to the cousin and he says he works as a taxi driver, which is clearly different from what he's telling us on the control.
Who works as a passenger works?
Yeah.
It's certainly a breakthrough. But before Officer Hassler can deny the passenger entry, he needs solid evidence or a full admission.
And before I start, you need to be aware it's very important for you to answer my questions truthfully. If at any time I find out subsequently that you've lied to me, then it's going to make your situation far more serious here, yeah? It is now an offence to mislead and obstruct an immigration officer, okay? So please think about that when you're answering my questions, right? Okay. Why have you come to the UK?
For the study.
Where?
School of Business Study.
School of Business Study?
Yeah.
Well, how come you give me letters for the School of Management and Science?
Yeah, School of Management and Science, sorry, I am...
No. Come on, hey, stop wasting my time. Right, I'm going to ask you again, what are you doing in the UK? Because you're not studying, you can't even get the name of the college right.
My brother is very serious.
Yeah.
I came, stop this question, yeah. Simple as that. I am in very bad situation.
Yeah, okay, simple right. So let's keep this simple. No. I tell you what, no. You listen to me, right? You calm down, right? And you answer my questions. Because the way you're going on, you've got something to hide, right? So don't start getting on your high horse, right? And start shouting at me, all right?
Did I shout on you?
You were.
I didn't.
Okay, right then.
I told you.
Right, listen. All you got to do is answer my questions, right? Simple as that. All right? Okay? Right.
India's economy is booming. But a developing economy needs an educated workforce. And here in New Delhi, the demand for a British university degree is huge. Almost 35,000 people a year apply to study in Britain from India. It's down to entry clearance officers to choose the suitable candidates from those who don't make the grade. This man has travelled hundreds of miles to apply for his visa. He comes from a family of farmers, but he wants to study in the UK so he can go into business with his father-in-law.
You have to stare at that CCTV camera for 10 seconds.
Mr. Singh has a lot to lose. having already paid £4,500 for his first term alone.
It's my first time in UK for study. Firstly, my undergraduate Python program, and after I finished my bachelor degree in business administration.
Okay,
yeah.
so you're going to be a businessman?
Yeah.
And when you finish the degree, you're going to come back here?
Yeah.
And what are you going to do?
Yeah, and join my family business with my father-in-law and my fathers.
His flight to the UK is only 4 days away from now. But there's no guarantee his application will be successful.
Thank you so much, sir. Have a good day.
Here at the application centre, Mr. Singh must submit evidence to prove that he's a genuine student and that his finances are in place.
Okay, this is your course for 3 years?
Yes, sir.
These are the savings?
Yeah.
It's a mountain of paperwork, but every detail is crucial.
We required the sponsor's document as well. Either the bank statement or the savings, the property papers, the valuation of the property, the affidavit. We required the whole thing actually.
He has everything he needs, but one part of his application is not up to scratch. His basic English score is below average. If the visa team don't think he'll be able to understand his course, they'll refuse him the visa. The money spent on fees could be lost. Students who are granted visas are only allowed to work part-time, up to 20 hours a week during term. At Terminal 3, Officer Hassler's passengers still insist he doesn't have a job at all, and that his studies are full-time.
When were you last at your college?
Sorry?
When were you last week? 1st of May.
What he doesn't know is that Officer Hassler has spoken to his cousin, who let slip that he is working.
We've been fortunate because I just asked the sponsor, his cousin who's meeting him, oh, what work does he do? And he's just said, oh yeah, he's a taxi driver. But when I've started asking him anything more about it, he's got a bit hesitant, realising he's maybe said something he shouldn't have done. So yeah, on that information, we'll be able to go now and go through the company. So it's been a good break for us.
Now, Officer Hassler needs to know whether it's full or part-time employment, and the pieces are coming together.
The taxi company's based in Luton. This is where this guy lives. Hi, is that the taxi company? Oh, hiya. I wonder if you can help me. This is the UK Board Agency at Heathrow. Just wonder if I could ask you a question about one of your drivers. Waleed Hussain? So, I mean, does he come on at a particular time or is it just any time? Is that full-time work? Yeah. Smashing. All right, thanks very much. Cheers, bye-bye now. Okay, contact the company and I've spoken to the controller there and he's just confirmed that he does work there. He's been working there full-time for 3 years. Right.
Officer Hassler still has no hard evidence. The cab company won't fax any information until they've spoken to the manager, who they can't get hold of. So he must use the information he has to get a full admission from the passenger.
Are you studying in the UK?
Yes.
Where?
I told you.
I'm asking you again, where?
School of Management Sciences.
All right, do you work in the UK?
No.
What did I say to you about lying to me? All right? Because you have lied to me. You have family in the UK?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So don't lie to me.
No, I am not lying.
So tell me again, where are you working?
I told you in so many places I will...
No, where are you working now? Well, I know where you're working. You know where... Listen, I know where you're working.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm talking to you about it now. All right? So I want you to tell me.
Where are you working?
Yeah. Okay. Do you want me to tell you? So tell me about 49 Taxi Company, yeah? That you work there as a driver, yeah?
I did work there.
No, you do work there. You do work there.
No, I'm not at no.
Yes, you are. Yeah, well, how come you're suddenly mentioning that you've worked there and it wasn't mentioned before?
No, I
so
told
tell
you
me, tell me.
so many places
tell me,
I
yeah. Okay.
I
You
can
tell me
tell you
about.
3-4
You tell me
more
about 49 Taxi Company. You tell me about it. That you work as a taxi driver.
I did work,
Okay. When did you start working there?
I did about 2-3 months ago. I did. Then
So you still work there?
Yeah, I still work there for 2 days.
I've got it from them that you work full-time and you've worked there for at least 2 to 3 years. So you work there full-time, yeah?
Part-time.
Full-time, yeah?
No, not full-time.
Okay. So how come they're telling me you work full-time and you've worked there for 3 years? And that probably tells me why you can't ever tell me about your college, because you're working full-time.
I don't.
How much did you pay for those letters?
I didn't pay anything.
Well, you're not studying them.
No, I'm studying.
Okay, right, what's going to happen is we're going to put you into a holding room. You'll be remaining with us. We're going to get this in document, we're going to get this writing from this company, okay? We'll get all that relevant information, and then when we've got that, we're going to take this further, okay?
Officer Hassler didn't get a confession, and the evidence he needs won't be available until the morning. The passenger will have to stay in the holding room.
You're going to remain with us overnight?
No, I can't stay in this room. I can stay on this.
No, you will stay in this room, all right?
No, I can't because I am asthmatic.
And if you've got asthma, where's your medication?
Do I carry the medication with me?
Well, yeah, because...
No, I don't.
Well, if you've got asthma, where's your... No, come back. Where's your medication then?
No, I don't know.
It's been a sort of frenetic few hours, but yeah, we've got the stage where we can't take this any further. We've got the passenger who's denying everything. However, we've got this verbal information that states that he is working full-time. So clearly we have avenues that we need to go down, but we can't do that tonight. So I'll have to pass this on tomorrow morning to a day shift officer, and what they will do is contact this the owner of the taxi company, also the school as well, and just see if we can corroborate either his story or the information that we've been provided that he is actually working and not studying.
In Delhi, almost 200 student applications a week are vetted at the British High Commission. For Mr. Singh, who wants to study in England, this could be the most important interview of his life. His flight leaves in just 3 hours. Entry clearance officer Dan Brown will be taking his case.
Man Singh, please. Man Singh.
He's a 19-year-old student with no evidence that this guy speaks English, so we'll have a chat with him and see if his English is good enough to be able to follow the course. Morning, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Okay, sir, but if you don't understand me, you have to tell me.
No.
Do you understand me?
Yeah.
So how long will you stay in the UK?
For my higher education, according to 3 years.
Where will you study?
Yeah, Hertfordshire. So.
Can you tell me about the structure of the course?
Firstly, my father-in-law supporting me for fees and my residence and all costs.
Well, tell me about the structure of the course.
20 pounds, 20,000 pounds, and in second and third year, 4 semester.
Okay, let me stop you there. I'll ask you the question in a different way. Can you tell me about the course that you will study in the UK?
Mainly reason after I want to study in UK, and after study I will join my family business and
Okay, so if you can please take a seat at the back, I'll consider your case and speak to you again shortly. Thank you. He's spending a lot of money, a lot of his father-in-law's money on going to the UK, and he couldn't tell me anything about what he was going to be studying. And I would expect that if he's spending so much money and he's really keen on studying, that he'd be able to tell me something about the course, and he could tell me absolutely nothing.
It's not looking good for Mr. Singh.
Mr. Singh, I considered your application today, but I'm not satisfied that you meet the requirements of the rules this time, so I'm going to refuse your application. Do you understand?
Yes.
Mr. Singh won't be catching his flight today. Instead, he must explain the £4,500 down the drain to his father-in-law. The visa system acts as a filter, and strict border controls stop many people getting into Britain illegally. but it's estimated there are up to 1 million illegal immigrants living and working in the country. It's the job of the enforcement teams to find those people and remove them from the UK.
First thing, we initially had 9 targets, however, that's been whittled down to 7. We've got intelligence received from the management of this company that they may be employing some persons who they believe may be illegal in this country. 5 minutes and we'll leave, yeah?
London and South East enforcement teams carry out over 100 raids a week. This morning, they've raided a cleaning company and arrested 2 workers they believe are in the country illegally. One is a Nigerian whose visa has expired. The other is from Ghana, but there is no record of him entering the UK. Officer in charge, Sharon Kilbourne, decides to search the man's home.
We're establishing initially that he actually lives here and the keys fit into the lock. They do, so we're going to bring him up and conduct a house search in order to locate his passport and any other documentation.
Where's your bedroom? Where's your bedroom? Upstairs. Upstairs. Bedroom's upstairs. Just take him to your bedroom, yeah?
Last year, 25,000 illegal immigrants were removed from the country through enforcement. But the immigration teams are not allowed by law to remove someone without travel documents. They must have proof of the person's country of origin.
We've now verified that this is the person's room. If he gives us a passport, once we find that, we'll be out of here.
The team only have a photocopy supplied by the man's employer.
This gentleman has a passport. A legal authority has certified it as being a true document. If they took this to his employer, of course they're going to give him employment because it's been certified by a solicitor. These are the problems we have all the time.
Tell us if your passport is here. Saves us searching the whole room.
Right. I said it first, to be honest with you.
Honesty is the best. We love honesty. We love that.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
When my brother was leaving, he told me everything in the lawyer's hand. He handed everything over.
This gentleman here originally said that his passport was with the Home Office. Well, we've done checks, it's not with the Home Office, so we're going to check his details here. And now you're saying it's with the your solicitor, yeah?
You said?
It's with your solicitor?
No, I said I can give my solicitor number to you for you to ask.
All right.
Yeah, because
right, so where is it then?
I don't have any idea.
So you don't have any idea?
Yes.
Right, have you reported it to the police?
No, to be honest.
Why not?
Has it been lost then? So if you don't know where it is...
Do you know what? If I had £1 for every time I heard someone lost their passport and never reported it to police, I'd be a rich woman.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Since my brother's, because everything was with my brother.
I just said to you, where's your passport? And you said, to be honest, I have no idea. But you just said now it's with a brother that's not really your brother.
My brother have that case, he have everything. Sorry, you know what I mean?
Oh, hold on. Got another photocopy or something here.
I always keep everything.
It's a copy of his Ghanaian passport. Right, this was issued on the 1st of February 2007.
Yeah, that's the point.
Right, where did you get this from? In Britain, this country or Ghana?
This one?
Yeah.
In this country.
From this country?
Yeah, when my brother was just sending everything.
So you wasn't here when you got this passport issued to you from...
Yeah, I was here.
You was here in 2007?
Yes, I was.
To be honest, yeah?
To be honest,
yeah.
At the moment it looks like the passport may not be here.
I think...
So this gentleman will probably be asked to report on immigration bail. That'll be decided by the arresting officers.
The team know that without a travel document, they cannot remove the man from Britain. Their only option is to grant him temporary release.
But you have to report every week, you understand?
Right, thank you very much.
Otherwise you'll have problems if you get stopped again by the police or immigration.
Right.
Okay?
All right.
He'll be reporting to us until we can get a document and a removal date for him, and then he'll be removed back to his country of origin. So for him, if he's ever apprehended again, there won't be no release for him. He'll be detained until he's removed.
Nearly 1 million trucks a year come through the port of Calais carrying goods into Britain. Over 400 British immigration officers work here at the French border, checking that freight is all the trucks are carrying. In 2007, officers at Calais alone stopped nearly 12,000 people trying to cross the channel illegally. Officer Gary Caldwell has been working the Calais beat for 3 years. It's his job to find and stop the illegal entrants known here as clandestines before they crossed the French border.
We've just received a call from Amos Cook Security, which is a French firm that conduct searches down at the berths here. They've searched the lorry that they think they found 5 clandestines in, so we're going to make our way down now, have a look at it. The clandestines may have breached the port fence and got into the lorry whilst it's been parked down here.
First, Officer Caldwell must make sure that the clandestines aren't carrying any weapons.
No sharps? No?
No, no.
Yeah?
No, no.
No? Okay. Yeah, what we've got is it's a level load of white goods, as you can see. And in a space maybe this high, across the top, there are 5, I believe, 5 adult males that all claim to be from Palestine. We're going to move them down one at a time. We'll refer the circumstances to our CIO, and then they'll make a decision on whether or not we're going to serve illegal entry papers on these people. You're first. He just said to me, everybody likes England, which is why they're trying to make their way across there right now. Come on, don't worry too much about that, Wayne, it's only spitting.
Please follow the signs for your correct immigration circles. Please complete.
10 a.m. Terminal 3.
Mr. Wajid Hussain?
It's been a bad night for the passenger who says he's a student and claims he doesn't work. He's been detained in the holding room for 13 hours. And now officers have written confirmation from the taxi company that he's been working full time. He's refused entry and told to be put on a plane in 2 hours. But he has a wife and 2 children living in Luton. He asked to see the Chief Immigration Officer, Matt Dyson.
Sometimes I think they believe that if they talk to a senior officer, he's going to turn around and be more sympathetic. But to be honest, you know, this decision's been through 2 CIOs now, so it's not a decision I'm looking to overturn at all. So, but we can all see what he's got to say. Do you want to come and have a quick chat? I'm the chief, yeah? We'll just nip outside. What's up?
I just want to make a request
Mm-hmm.
that I got my wife and my daughters, 2 daughters in Luton, yeah. And I just want to request you personally for the bail. I'm not saying your decision.
No, as it stands, I'm not willing to entertain any releasing you at the moment, okay?
You can do that.
If you wish to, no. I'm not granting you temporary admission. I think that's what you're asking for, isn't it? Temporary admission. No, because I think if I gave you temporary admission, you probably wouldn't come back.
I will give you the
Well,
guarantee.
but you don't appear to have followed our rules up to now, do you? Now, I've read this. The case against you is pretty strong, okay? I don't think you're studying. You don't know anything about your course.
If any guarantee you want, I can bring the 2-3 people.
I can't really do that. I mean, I can understand why you're concerned about your wife and daughters. Well, no, I mean, you're concerned about your wife and daughter, but obviously, you know, I have to balance that concern with the fact that, you know, you fall well short of re-entering as a student. And also, you didn't seem to think it was a problem going on holiday and leaving your wife and daughters here, did you?
No.
So it's not as if, you know, I think that they're in any danger.
My brother is dying with the cancer, leukemia. He's fighting for his life in hospital. That was the reason I went to leave my wife and my kids.
Right, as whilst I can understand you want to see your wife and children, I'm not going to be letting you in, I'm afraid. If you want to pursue the appeal, that's up to you. You can never divorce yourself entirely from the decisions you make. But in the end, you have to look to your job, and you have to look what is the right thing to do according to your job. Now, you should never, ever divorce yourself from being sympathetic towards people. And just because somebody falls short of the immigration rules doesn't automatically make them a bad person. Now, this, as far as we can gather, this guy is working too much, and he's not studying as he claims. Okay, and his whole basis of being here, and also of having a family here whom he supports, is as a student. And the bottom line is, if he's not doing it, then he shouldn't be here. And you know that's the law, and that's a policy made by government, not by me. My job is to apply it correctly.
The passenger did lodge an appeal before Chief Officer Dyson's team could put him on a plane. After a week in a detention centre, he was granted temporary release. He's still in the UK, waiting for a removal date. Back at Calais, an Officer Caldwell is on a roll. There's another report of a lorry with clandestines on board.
We've got 3 clandestines in the vehicle in front, believe it or not. It's gone mad. No, yes. I need your photograph. I can come up and get it if you like. Okay? And him. Come on, fella. Nationality? Iraq? Iran?
Two Iraq, 1 Iran.
Okay. Nationality? Iranian?
Iraq.
Iraq? Passport?
Passport? No.
No, papers.
Passport.
Papers?
Papers.
Let me see.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, from the French police. Ali Kalen?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
But what we look at is how secure the vehicle was, what measures the drivers and indeed their companies take to prevent clandestines breaching them. So we'll speak with the drivers to establish what if anything, they've done to protect their lorries, and then we'll consider setting penalties if we think it's appropriate after that. Clandestines now, we'll take their photographs and fingerprint them. We'll consider or not whether they've committed an offence. We'll serve them paperwork confirming that. And once that's done, we'll hand them to the French police, who will remove them from the area.
The enforcement team in London need to search the home of a cleaner they've arrested on suspicion of being in the country illegally.
Come on, mate. Watch your head, yeah? Come down. Stand there for me, mate.
The man gave a false name. But officers found an ID card, and checks against this name confirmed he is from Nigeria and here on a tourist visa that expired 2 years ago.
The gentleman says it's his sister's address and she lives on the 5th floor. We've got officers providing rear cover just in case someone throws documents out of windows.
The team must find his passport. Without it, they can't send him back home.
No, hold him. He can go. Because his sister's a bit nervous of the law and police, and especially immigration, he's asked us to stand away from the peephole, or she won't answer the door, basically. If she sees his face, she'll answer it. If she sees us, she won't. So we're just waiting for her to answer the door.
Hello,
Don't open the door, immigration going to arrest you.
Yeah, basically.
That's what he's saying.
Can you let me use your phone? I'll call him. I'll call her. I will explain what is happening. Excuse me. I will explain what is happening to her. She will open the door. Let me just. She's just only afraid.
Tell her if she doesn't open the door, we'll smash the door in.
Let me use the phone.
Yeah. I'll tell her what is happening.
If there's no one in there.
Because she might not be there, innit? Hello, Lucy! It's the Home Office. Open the door! We're not going to go away, so you need to open the door now.
We don't want a false entry unless we're sure it's his address. Because we don't. Obviously, we've only got the power to false entry into his address, and we're not 100% sure. So we're not too keen on kicking the door in.
Is your passport in there, or is it in a different address?
Is there a passport in this address? Your passport in there?
Remember, no, my passport. My passport is not here.
Where is your passport?
My passport is for a long time. It has been returned to Nigeria from those who have taken it.
That's what you said earlier, is it? Sonny, I don't believe you.
You can check it. You know how to check it from your computer. Check it by yourself. You will see everything there.
So you've got is you saying you've applied for another visa? Is that what you're saying?
You mean my visa?
Why have you returned your passport back to Nigeria?
It is because, so...
Just a short story, please. Why have you returned it back to Nigeria? Why?
It's someone that has helped me that take it back to Nigeria.
No, you come here, you get a
Right,
visa,
relax, stand
you
back.
get a job, you send it home, get a new visa, pretend you've gone back to Nigeria, put a fake landing state from someone in Nigeria, get a new visa, yeah? We know how it works. This is not a new story to us. We do this every day. Now where's your passport?
You know what I'm saying now? I'm very, very sure of what I'm saying. Forget about what happened in where you come arrest me. It's just a panic.
Right, where's your
now
passport?
I'm ready to tell you the real fact of the matter. That's what I'm
Where's
telling
your
you now.
passport?
My passport is not here. It's not in this England. And I have to tell you the truth. I swear to Almighty God.
The team can't get in. They've already spent 8 hours on this operation, and at the end of it, 2 people they believe are illegal immigrants will be released.
It's just frustrating because you've been out all day, it's a long, hard graft, and at the end of it, you're just going to let go.
Because of limited space, the Immigration Service only detains someone if they believe he poses a risk to the public or is likely to abscond. All they can do with the Nigerian is take him back to base to record his details.
Right, we'll start off with your right hand, so come around here.
Excuse me, sir. Can I ask you a question, please?
Yes.
Never commit any offense, any crime in this country.
Right, okay, listen, mate, we're going to give you... I'll tell you why we're taking your fingerprints.
Very straightforward.
Okay, now listen, let me explain to you. You're not legally here. And we have the right to take your fingerprints, okay?
Yeah.
If you don't allow us to take them, we can take them by force, okay? It's a lot easier for you to just let us take them. Don't go to the police. These go onto an immigration database, but they go on an immigration database all around Europe. So you go to any other country within Europe, claim to be somebody else, they can test you and you'll come up on your fingerprints, okay?
It's not that to know maybe I've committed a crime.
It's not because you've done a criminal offence, no. Just do what go with me, yeah?
I'm going to give you this form. It's a notification of temporary release, okay? Which basically means that we're releasing you. You need to report to this office. You need to bring this paper with you, all right? And then you come back every Wednesday, okay? You're not allowed to work, mate, yeah? So the best bet for you now is probably to go to the Nigerian High Commission and get hold of a passport or a travel document and go back to Nigeria, okay?
If I've been deported to Nigeria, they will kill me. If I prefer to kill me here than to try Nigeria. I prefer to kill me than to go to Nigeria and just waste my life.
The man fears for his life if he goes home to Nigeria because of a feud over property with members of his family. It started after the death of his parents, when he sold some property to fund his trip to Britain.
I mean, we spoke about the possibility of you wanting to claim asylum, but you're not sure yet, are you? So what you need to do is go home, have a think about it, and whatever you think's best, when you decide, when you come in tomorrow, you'll come into our office and have a word with someone about claiming asylum, if that is what you want to do, okay?
Asylum is protection for people fleeing persecution in their own country. A claim because of a family dispute, however serious, is unlikely to be successful.
Well, now he's been released. He's probably going to go home, speak to his mates. They're going to tell him, oh no, stay away, whatnot. And lost in the system again.
The man did report as instructed the following day, but he did not seek asylum and has not been seen or heard of since. The Ghanaian cleaner also reported only once, before disappearing. Both men have been circulated as absconders on the police national computer. At Heathrow, a 41-year-old Australian claiming to be a tourist has been stopped at passport control. Officer Devinder Tung is suspicious because the woman has limited funds and can't tell him what she wants to do while on holiday. The passenger is a chef, and Officer Tung believes she may intend to work in Britain. What she's carrying in her luggage raises suspicions further.
She's just informed me that she's got some special luggage that she's checked in, which she said were her chef knives. Now, when asked why she needed them, she said she was going to do some cooking for her uncle. Is that all the baggage that you have at the moment?
Yeah, my knives are in the fridge.
Your knives are in the fridge. Okay, we'll go and grab your knives. Okay, I'm just going to have to take this away from you as well, just whilst we're conducting our inquiries, okay? I can't let you have this, and then I'll return it back to you afterwards, okay?
Officer Tung must search all the woman's bags to find out if she is a genuine tourist. In with her laptop, he discovers several copies of the woman's CV.
We also have copies of her educational certificates with her. She's got copies of them. I mean, it's strange, you know, someone bringing educational certificates, CVs, coming for a holiday. At her age, 41, she's too old to get a working holiday maker visa to come here through that channel. I haven't looked at her qualifications exactly, but you know, we've got the new points-based system, so maybe she doesn't qualify for the points to get the right work permits to come over. So, you know, they're left with no other option but to come and seek entry as a visitor and then work illegally. And can I ask you what this is? What's this?
It's a CV that I use how I get working. This is how I send to my employers. This goes electronically.
Whose CV is it?
Mine, Robin Cameron's.
Why are you bringing them with you?
They're always in my back, on my laptop. They're always there.
They're always there?
They're always in my bag, yeah.
So many copies? You've got about 25 copies of your covering letter.
Yeah.
And there must be maybe the same amount of CVs.
Yeah. When I'm looking for work, that's what I send them. Always looking for work, but you always get bits and pieces.
You're always looking for work?
Yeah.
Why are you carrying your chef knives with you?
Because I'm going to cook some food for my friends while I'm here. I take them everywhere I go.
Can you not use their knives to cook food?
No, because they're blunt. You always cut. No.
Why not?
No, because people. I can't.
Because you're only going to cook for friends. How many friends do you have here? You have.
Yeah, but even when I'm at home in Sydney,
You have
I
an
take them to
uncle.
people's house.
Yeah, you have an uncle to cook for.
Yeah.
And you have Julie to cook for, and another. Yeah. So there's 3 people.
I don't like using anyone else's knives. It's a personal thing that I've had my own knives. People's knives are normally blunt.
Okay. I mean, looking at what we've looked at so far, everything suggests to me that you're coming to the United Kingdom to seek and take employment here.
But I can't get a working visa here.
Yeah.
No, I can't work here.
But no, everything suggests to me that you are, because, I mean, why else would somebody carry a CV with them? You have 3 friends here.
Yeah.
And you bought your chef knives to cook for them.
But if you could understand what it's...
I do understand, but...
The chefs are like...
You're not cooking... Unless you plan to cook in a professional kitchen, you don't need to bring your knives with you.
If I go to my dad's house, I take my knives. If I go to anyone's house to cook for them, I take my knives.
So do you have any intention of working here?
No, I don't.
No, okay.
What does she say about the knives and the
No,
certificates?
well, certificates, she said, well, she always carries them around with her wherever she goes. She's always looking for work. I said, you're always looking for work. You're planning to work here? No, I'm not planning to work here.
I don't buy this thing about taking your chef's knives everywhere you go. And you don't take your certificate.
No, you
When
don't.
did you last take yours on holiday?
No, and it's not just one. There's a few copies of each. It's not just like, you know, she's got different coloured one. Here we go. This is her CV.
her?
That's her, yeah.
No, she's looking for work, isn't she?
Oh, she's definitely looking for work, yeah.
Nope. Sorry.
Yeah, I've checked RDs. There's a flight out tonight at 2100 or something.
Fitting well?
Yeah, she's fitting well. This is for you, your reasons for refusal. This also gives you your flight that you're going back on. So you're going on the EY to Abu Dhabi, connecting on all the way to Sydney tonight.
Okay.
Okay? Your passport and stuff will be held with us. When you board the flight, my colleagues who will escort you to your flight will then hand the passport on to the cabin crew, who will then give it to you when you land.
There's nothing I can do?
Unfortunately not, no.
This is so wrong. I've worked my ass off to get here. I'm a chef. I make $25 an hour in Sydney. I've worked that hard. Look, you've read my diary. You've been through everything. I'm not here to work.
Okay. Well, everything that you've brought with you suggests that you are here and your intentions are to seek employment here in the United Kingdom.
You can keep all that.
No, that's not going to stop.
I know. I just grabbed my laptop. My laptop had recipes in it.
She didn't take it too well. She'd spent a lot of money. I mean, it didn't seem as if she had limited funds to her anyway. Now, you know, someone wouldn't spend all that money to come here just for a trip if they didn't have it. I mean, there must have been more intentions to her coming here, like to work so she could earn some more money. So I think that was the right decision.
I've worked my ass off for the last 6 months to come to this country to have a holiday. I brought my knives, I'm a chef, I'm going to cook for my friends, and they've refused me entry into this country. It's just so wrong. You know, he wants me to bring my family. My family just had the biggest party for me to leave yesterday, and now I'm going to bring him with chum and come home. So I'm embarrassed and I'm upset. I've done nothing wrong. I've done nothing wrong except for trying to come to this country. Thanks.
Every year, over 100 million people go through passport control to get into Britain. Most are welcome and legal, many are not. For the first time on television, we go behind the scenes of the UK Border Agency, the men and women on the front line of immigration. Tonight, hidden human cargo in Calais.
Are you all Iraqi? Are they all Iraqi?
Enforcement raids in Somerset.
Police and immigration, open up!
And it's all too much for a passenger held at Heathrow.
My life is right there in your hands. That's all me right there.
That's right.
But yet still I'm locked away like a prisoner, man.
More than 1 million passengers every month arrive at Heathrow's Terminal 3. Many are from some of the world's poorest countries.
Next, please. How long will you all be staying for? There you go. Thank you.
Lisa Lee has been an immigration officer for 2 years. It's her job to make sure each passenger has a valid reason to enter Britain. Today, she stopped a woman from South Africa travelling on a visit visa. The woman also has an out-of-date letter. It's for a beauty training course called Steiner.
Steiner are a well-known training organisation that do beauty training for employees of cruise ships. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to ring Steiner before I do anything else, because if they can confirm she's coming on a training course, then it may not be more than just a quick chat with her. We have a passenger arrived today from South Africa. She's presented 2 Steiner letters from last year, and she claims to be coming on a training course starting shortly. I just wondered if you were able to tell us if she's registered. You're not expecting her. OK, they don't have any record of her on the training course.
The passenger's reason for coming to Britain is thrown into doubt. Officer Lee wants to know if what she's carrying in her bags tells another story.
You told the officer when you arrived that you were coming for a training course. Do you have a definite place on a training course in the UK?
What happened is last...
Do you have a place on a training course in the UK, yes or no?
No, ma'am.
So why did you tell the officer that you had a place on a training course when you don't?
Sorry if I said my answer very wrong.
She appears to have very little cash, in fact no money at all to speak of, and she's brought with her CVs, which you don't really bring on holiday, and all her beauty training certificates, which I guess you could say could be legitimately there if she's planning to enrol on a training course or hoping to embark on another cruise ship. But other than that, she's got no real reason why she would have her CVs with her. I'm just concerned that she may have worked here previously and she may be intending to work in the UK. What is the purpose of your visit?
Me joining the ship?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
OK, I spoke to the agency and they're not expecting you. Why didn't you arrange your place on the training course before you came?
I don't know where to start. Okay, just like where I come from, the place where I live.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of friends here in London.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I wanted to leave Cape Town, like where I'm from, because I didn't want to spend any more money, and obviously because I was going to be the one who buys my own ticket.
Right.
And because of the ship being the only bread, and me helping out my brother to go to college.
So the only way you earn money is on the ships, yeah? You okay? I'm just thinking, you know, it seems like a long way to come if you haven't got a place on the course already sorted. Why didn't you do it before you came? Would have been easier, wouldn't it? You could have got the letter from them and everything. It would have made your life a lot easier. Is there a problem back home?
I'm the only person that's looking out for me and my family.
You're the only one that has any money and that support. So are you supporting the whole family on your salaries, yeah? Okay.
Before Officer Lee allows the woman through passport control, she must consult her boss, Chief Immigration Officer Matt Dyson.
I can sympathise with anybody who feels they've got to work hard for their family and have to leave their own country to do it. Fine, but in the end, she falls well short of the requirements for entry as far as I'm concerned. She's basically not told the truth on arrival.
Right.
She doesn't have enough funds.
There's a flight this evening, if we want to remove her today, via Doha.
Okay, well, as it stands, unless we hear anything different, I'm sorry, but she will have to go home.
Okay.
Thanks anyway.
No problems. This is particularly tough because I've been to where she lives. I know the township she comes from, and it's pretty horrible. Most places don't have electricity. You know, it's rough. So the money this girl is on when she's on board ship is a lot of money in South Africa. So she would be supporting her mum and brother. And in a way, you're kind of robbing her of the chance to provide for her family, and you just think, well, I'm sending her back. I'm afraid it's not very good news. Okay, you are going to be refused entry to the UK today. All right. She just doesn't qualify today for entry. If she can satisfy either an entry clearance officer in the future or another immigration officer in the future that she qualifies for entry on another day, then her case will be viewed on its merits. It doesn't automatically exclude her from coming back to the UK in the future.
It's estimated there are up to 1 million people living illegally in the UK. Many come into the country on a tourist visa, but find a way to stay on and work illegally. One problem for the Immigration Service is the number of Brazilians who use fake Portuguese ID cards. In Yeovil, Somerset, an enforcement team led by PC Phil Artingstall has been given a tip-off that Brazilian illegal immigrants are working in a bingo hall.
Information has been received to the effect that there are several Brazilian nationals working at the bingo hall in Yeovil. These persons are all believed to be using counterfeit Portuguese documents to obtain employment. The intention is to enter and search the premises and detain all staff members for immigration checks.
Being Portuguese speakers, Brazilians with fake ID can convince an employer they belong to the European Union and have the right to work.
We believe that the Brazilian staff are being used as catering workers and working on the kiosks in the actual bingo hall itself.
Can somebody check there, please? Hi, can you just stay there for me, please? Okay, is the manager about? Police and Immigration. We have a warrant here to enter and search this premises and speak to your staff because we have reason to believe that some of the staff that are working here are illegally in the country.
With such a large building to search, the team split up to make sure no workers are missed.
We just want to make sure there's no one hiding, basically. Clear. You never know what you're going to find, that's the thing. You never know how big something is and where someone could be hiding.
Okay, you want to take a seat, please, sir?
Sarah, who's not in tonight.
Thank you. And the manager has produced documentation to us in relation to members of staff that he employs. We're just checking them to make sure there's no anomalies with the documents and their possible counterfeits.
Immigration officer Ronnie Watson discovers that this woman's family is from Brazil.
Mother's Brazilian, so what's your nationality? Do you have Portuguese nationality? Okay.
He checks the woman's details against the Home Office database.
Okay, so there's nothing to say that she's actually got Portuguese nationality. Basically, all we've got on Home Office systems is that she's a Brazilian national, and she had a 6-month visit visa, so I'm just going to go and ask her a few more questions to see why she's still here. Have you got a Portuguese passport? No. You haven't got a Portuguese passport, just a Portuguese ID card?
The young lady that sat there has produced to the employer a Portuguese ID card, which is on her employment file. We've run some checks on our system. She comes back as somebody of the same name, the same date of birth, having entered the UK as a visitor on a Brazilian passport. She's denying this, and she's stating that she's actually Portuguese and she entered on her Portuguese ID card.
OK, Ms Barbosa, we've got conflicting stories here, OK? To that end, I'm arresting you now on suspicion of being an overstay in the United Kingdom. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence.
Should she not be a Portuguese national, she is actually Brazilian, then she'll be taken to the police station and we'll make arrangements to remove her from the country.
First, the team want to search for the woman's fake ID and, crucially, her genuine passport. If their records are correct, it would prove she's Brazilian and overstayed her visa.
I'd just like to take a seat for a moment. Whereabouts is your ID card?
I miss them. I don't have any.
You don't have it? No. And you don't have your passport? OK. Have you got anything at all to prove that you're Portuguese? Nothing at all? No? Fill spot receiving? Yeah, lady claims not to have
any proof of either Portuguese or Brazilian nationality in the premises, sir.
Yeah, all received. If you have a look in the obvious places, then have a quick search, and once you're happy, give us a shout.
Yeah, received.
The team has a lot to search through. The bingo hall worker seems to have accumulated a lot of stuff during her time here. Now she decides to help out.
Did you find one green bag?
Green backpack?
No, backpack.
A backpack?
Green
No,
backpack.
not in there. The bag should be in here, did you say?
Yeah.
It's dawning on her that she's in trouble and that we're not going to accept the fact that she's Portuguese. So she's trying to come up with little snippets of information, and then hopefully she'll eventually divulge to us where her Brazilian passport is.
Giovanni, what we don't want to have to do is keep you in custody for longer than we have to.
I know, but I tried to. The only place that showed me is there. She said that she didn't find a green bag. Showed me there, I don't know.
Okay. All right. Just have a seat, relax.
Sometimes the thought of us going through people's personal things tend to make them show us where these things will be, but obviously that's not going to work in this case. Do you know where the passport is?
If I knew, I would get it.
Okay, but it's a Brazilian passport, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
The team did not find the woman's passport, but in a formal interview she admitted to being Brazilian and an illegal worker. After 2 days in detention, she was sent back to Brazil. Calais is the bottleneck of Europe. Trucks from the continent and beyond queue here to come into Britain. 1.5 million of them every year. It's an ideal opportunity for those who want to smuggle their way to the UK. There are over 400 British immigration officers working in this corner of France. Just starting his night shift is Officer John Cassidy.
So we're in the port of Calais at the entrance. The passport booths here are where the French-English control zone begins. So from here we have jurisdiction until it gets down onto the boat by the berths here. So as the lorries approach here, they show their passports at the booth where they'll be checked to make sure they're allowed to travel on. We will then select vehicles to be searched in our sheds.
This selection process is known as spotting. After 2 years at Calais, Officer Cassidy knows what to look for.
But we have certain vehicles we like to look out for. If they don't like they've been secured, find out if they've been sleeping in the port area outside, which is where most illegals will try to enter the vehicle. So my job here is just to traffic management and make sure that the right vehicles get selected for searching.
In 2007, immigration officers stopped nearly 12,000 people trying to cross the channel hidden in lorries. That's more than 30 every day. Chief Immigration Officer Kerry Lockie is prepared for a busy night.
The optimum time that we have fines are between 2 o'clock in the morning and 8 o'clock in the morning, purely and simply because that's when the lorry drivers are sleeping. So it is usually without their knowledge illegals manage to get into the vehicles.
Slow from Kelly?
No stop, van lock, this.
The officer's favourite tool is the CO2 probe. It detects the breathing of anyone hiding in the trunk.
No, it looks good. No, that's clear. It's fine, yeah, it's clear.
All clear. We're clear with that.
A little less high-tech, but equally effective, the nose.
Well, the bonfire smell that we tend to get when we open them up is because they've been living rough in camps around the area. We understand, obviously, they have got the old bonfires and whatnot going to keep themselves warm, so that's a distinct smell that we tend to find when we open up the lorries.
Sometimes they're unlucky enough to wear shoes with reflective strips on them, which helps give them away. You put the torch and it just flashes up on you.
It's nearly home time for the team. They've checked more than 100 trucks during the night, but still they haven't found any illegal entrants.
You got something? Hang on a minute, I've just got in. I'm going straight up though. 420, 430. Let's go in. As we put the probe in, the readings started to rise quite dramatically immediately, which is usually a good sign. It means that someone might have been in there for quite a while. CO2 builds up, so it doesn't take long for it to be drawn into the probe. Go straight up and we get excited then.
Is that all the way down?
The lorry's load is industrial drain pipes.
They look like they go all the way through though. You got it?
Yeah. How many can you see? 3 so far.
Oh, I can smell. You can smell.
There's pipe that goes all the way along, but there's a slight gap to one side, and I think they must have crawled along there. And from what we can see, where it dips down, there's some shoulders and some tops of heads. We think 4, 5 possibly at the moment. One of my colleagues is down there speaking to them at the moment.
It's pipe work all the way down. There's 4 just hidden at 10, 15 foot down on the further side. What you're going to have to do now is take the curtain off at the side, get a better picture of it. Just can't really see from here. Need a bit more light. There he is.
Are you all Iraqi? Are they all Iraqi?
No.
You? Yeah, you sure? You keep smiling. We're just trying to confirm anybody's actually in here at the moment and their nationalities. Take some photos in situ to show how they got in and where they are hiding for future reference. And then we'll try to get them down safely. Just you next with Charlie, 1 minute, wait.
Next step is to match their photographs to the names. The majority of these people do not carry documents at all because they don't really want to be identified with their country. And also, a lot of them don't actually have documents anyway because of the countries that they come from.
This is what it's all about, actually. You feel like you've done your job. This is what we're here for, to try and find these people. You know they're trying to get here, so you get a buzz and a satisfaction when you do finally get you searching all night long to finally get at least someone. You know it's been worthwhile. That's 5 more people who haven't been successful on this occasion. They will no doubt try again at some stage, and hopefully we'll be able to thwart them again, and they won't be successful next time. But it's what we're here for, and if you don't catch them, you don't feel like you're doing your job. So this is a nice one. This makes you go home on a bus now and go, yeah, good one last night.
The driver was fined £500 and the owner of his vehicle a further £1,500. At Terminal 3, teams of immigration officers work round the clock checking every new arrival. Officer Kay Lomas was a teacher before she joined the UK Border Agency. She knows when someone's trying to pull the wool over her eyes. Today, she's investigating an Indian national returning to Britain on a student visa.
Now, we have your suitcase, the rucksack and this. Are these all of your bags?
Yeah.
Before you came to study here, you did a 3 years course in India. Was that, what's BCA?
BCA, Bachelor in Computer Application.
So you've got a bachelor's degree in computers. And what for university?
Actually, I came here on demand for university, MSc in Multimedia Communication.
Yes.
But when I came here, they told me that they don't have enough students for MSc in Multimedia Communication.
The passenger was given a student visa a year ago. He had a place on a master's degree course at a prestigious Midlands university. The course was cancelled and he now says he's studying at a college in London, even though he lives in Leicester. Officer Lomas reports her findings so far to the Chief Immigration Officer, Sarah Dyson.
I've done his bags, not found much in there to be honest. He's got his national insurance card, he's got some business cards for a garment factory that's run by his cousin brother who I've established is his first cousin. He's got no student card for this college in London.
So, he looks like he's had a pretty good education.
He has, he's just said to me he's done a 3-year bachelor's computing course.
In India?
In India.
And how long has he been in the UK for?
Since 2006. And he's been doing more IT-based diplomas, which you would not really need had you done a bachelor's in IT, I would think.
It's very difficult for us to believe that he's genuinely studying in East London if he lives in Leicester. And he's told you he lives in Leicester. I mean, which of us on this planet would really want to commute 200 miles a day to attend college for, what, a couple of hours, maybe 3 hours?
And what student could afford that?
It has no credibility whatsoever, so, I mean, that's the main thing that we should concentrate on.
Officer Lomas calls the passenger's cousin. She hopes he can confirm that his relative is studying in London.
Hello, sir. Are you expecting anyone to arrive in the UK today? And how do you know Usman? You own a factory. And what kind of factory is it? Manufacturing ladies' wear. So he packs the garments. You mentioned that he's also a student. What does he do? You have no idea what he studies. Every time that he goes to college, do you take him every single time? Yes. So you should be able to tell me which days he goes to college then if you take him there. When was the last time he went to London to college? Last Thursday? Wasn't he in India at that time? He wasn't in UK then, was he? Very vague about when he goes to college, has no idea what he does in college at all, can't tell me which subject he studies, can't tell me the name of the college, but he apparently drops him off there every week, 3 times a week. But he's very clear on his position in the factory, which leads me to believe that, leads me to doubt the fact that he's a full-time student here, because it's just a bit strange to me.
Now that doubts are raised over the passenger's studies, Officer Lomas makes a second call. This time to the college where he claims to be studying.
Could you just confirm the name of the student that you have? I want to know all the details about his current course, when he started, what's he studying, when was the last time he attended college. Is he studying with you at the moment? It should be quite a simple yes or no answer to that, sir, really. When was the last time he attended? When was the last day that he came to college? 15th of November. Thank you.
According to the college, the student has not attended at all in the last 6 months.
And what was his attendance rate for his previous course? How can it be 82% if he already missed 4 weeks? Right, so his attendance rate for his last course was 82. Could you tell me a bit more about your college, please? St Paul College. It's on the 3rd floor. Okay. And then your college is on the 4th floor, and that's it. So we're talking 4 colleges in one building. The reason I asked so many questions to him is because What I want to do is go and, if this man is a genuine student, if he is a full-time student here, he should be able to answer basic questions about his tutors, about the modules he studied, about the building, what facilities they've got, how much fees he's paid. So I'm going to put all these questions to him in the interview. If he can answer them all and he's very confident in what he says about his studies, then that's fine. But if he can't tell me these things, obviously that's something that I need to be worried about. Usually diplomas and degrees have modules within them of study. What did you do?
I studied basic programming, Microsoft Office, and then it got to C, programming in C.
What was the title of the courses called? That's what I want to know.
The titles?
Yes, of the courses that you studied.
Modules. It was like subjects to me.
What is your attendance like? What is your attendance rate? Have you missed any lessons?
My attendance should be 85%.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now then, sir, have you been telling me the truth during this interview?
Yes.
Well, then we've got a problem. Because I have spoken to your college at length today, and they're telling me a very different story than the one that you've just said to me. I spoke to Mr. Suleiman Khan, who tells me he's an admin clerk at your college. He tells me that you've not attended the postgraduate diploma at all. In fact, when I asked him when was the last time they saw you, he says it was November 2007. When was the last time? And I want the month, and I preferably want the week. When was the last time you studied, you attended classes in the United Kingdom?
Last July.
Thank you. What have you been doing in that 8.5 months, sir?
Sitting at home.
I don't believe you.
You have to. I'm not lying this time.
Now, I'm concerned that your college did not tell me that you didn't attend from July to November. They said your attendance rate was 82%. What's going on? I'm sure you know there are many colleges that supply letters to students.
I don't know.
And that say that students have attended college and that accept money so that they produce letters to that effect and diplomas. Either you're not telling me the truth, sir, or the college isn't. Is this college a genuine college? Do they have lectures there?
I've not been there, I don't know. They just told me that your attendance will be done.
Your attendance will be done. Did they ever charge you any money, sir, for the fact that they were fixing your attendance?
Yes.
Okay. What did they charge you?
500 quid.
For?
The attendance.
Just to clarify, the £500 was so that they said you had attended when you hadn't attended?
Yes.
Realising his UK residence permit is in danger of being cancelled, the student makes an appeal.
I want to study, ma'am. My future will be ruined.
Why would it be ruined?
Without a post-graduation, I'm nothing.
That's not true.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
You've told us the truth now about your studies, which was the right thing to do, but in hindsight, you should have been attending, shouldn't you? You applied to do a master's at De Montfort University, a good university, excellent course, and since then things have just gone downhill. Come on. Obviously he was very upset at the end of the interview there. He's been caught out. I continued to press him on the college because I had an inkling that the college wasn't genuine from what he'd said. In the end, he did admit that they were supplying letters to students. I will pass that on to our intelligence unit and they will check that out, and that college will then be on a list of colleges that we will look into further.
Officer Lomas makes her final report to her boss.
And he has a UK residence permit issued for the purpose of studies. Okay.
Only a month ago.
Only a month ago, so he was quite happy to deceive the Home Office only a month ago.
Yes.
Well, once again, I think without a shadow of a doubt, we'll have to refuse this guy entry and cancel his residence permit.
The passenger is refused entry to Britain and put on the next plane back to India.
It's not an easy thing to have to be very harsh with somebody like that. But on the other hand, you feel sorry for the people who are genuinely studying here, and then people like that gentleman who would come here and just flout the rules really to get a residence permit and don't study. It's not on.
It's estimated that up to 5,000 foreign students a year enrol at British colleges with no intention to study. In Yeovil, the enforcement team continue their search for Brazilians posing as Portuguese. The next stop is a flat above a shop on the high street.
Just see if there's any life upstairs in the front window.
Unfortunately, while they're knocking on the front door, people seem to be escaping from the back.
In what direction, over? Right.
Nick?
Oh yeah, we've got some runners at the top here, over. Do you want us to attend?
Where did they go? Straight up there?
Yeah. Hurry up! Open the door, we'll put
Two
it
of our
in!
team members.
Right, we've got one mil.
Do you want to go see if you can...
Police and immigration, open up!
Because we've got one inside, but he won't open up.
Come to the front door!
Open the door! Right, thank you very much. Where's your friend? There was two of you. Come here. There's one just gone round the back. Right, come up here now. Stand there. Do not move. Okay, stand there. Tracy, he appeared to go into the back of the shop, so if you want to stay here, I'll just run down and see. He appeared to, when I saw him, he seemed to go into the rear of the shop. You come downstairs, please. Now, with me.
Inside, the team find two people. They think at least 3 others were here just a few moments ago.
I'm going to need your name, your nationality and your date of birth, or I need to see an ID doc. Where's your passports? OK, one passport upstairs. Do you want to take him up, Laura?
The 2 men claim to be Portuguese. If they are, it means they can legally work in the UK as members of the EU. But they need to be able to prove it with a passport or ID card.
We will look for it. We will look for it. If you can't find it, we'll look.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your passport? Yeah, roger that. Is this you? Is that you?
Yeah.
Is that all you've got? Have you got a passport?
Yes.
This is what you're looking for?
Please.
OK, come downstairs.
Because the subject's got a Portuguese ID card. Obviously, the intelligence is that they're using counterfeit Portuguese ID cards. We're obviously looking at all of the safeguards, the forgery safeguards that the card has on it to try and establish whether or not it is indeed a counterfeit. I reckon it's probably a sub-photo and change the date of birth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you look at, there's a lot of dirt under there.
Lines.
I think we're safe to say that this gentleman is not a true Portuguese national.
It's been altered.
It's been altered. The details have been altered on it. It might possibly be a genuine card that's obviously been stolen at some point, and they've altered some of the details and put his photo in it. Could you explain to the gentleman that I'm going to arrest him as a illegal entrant into the UK? Okay, he does not have to say anything to me, but anything he does say, I will take down and use in evidence. Okay, he will be properly explained the full caution by an interpreter once we get to the police station. Thank you.
Now under arrest, the man admits to the team that his passport is in his room.
Okay, all right. We're going upstairs to get this man's Brazilian passport. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Here. You weren't pointing there. Yeah, that's him. We found, obviously, this man's passport to show that he was refused leave to enter at Brussels in 2008. This shows me that he's been refused leave to enter in the UK. We've also found a passport for what would appear to be his girlfriend. They travelled on the same date, both been refused leave to enter. They've obviously then both gained counterfeit Portuguese ID cards from somewhere and both travelled in on those. We also found her Portuguese ID card, so... Yep, go. I think we can safely say there was at least one other person here that we saw. 3 in total that have run from here. I mean, clearly, there's at least 4 bedrooms, and they're all lived in.
Both the Brazilians found in the flat were arrested and detained. The man with the fake ID card was sent back to Brazil, along with his flatmate who had overstayed his 6-month visit visa. It's midday at Heathrow. An overnight flight from America landed 5 hours ago. One of the passengers is still at Terminal 3. He recently became a US citizen. Before this, as a Jamaican, he was refused a UK visa due to lack of funds. This is why he's being investigated by Officer Mark Washington.
Mr. Brom, is it? Braham. OK, do you want to come up, please, sir? I mean, as it stands at the moment, he's been refused a visa in January, so that's not looking great for him. But at the same time, one of the reasons he was refused is that finances weren't great. So what I'll do is I'll assess to see if anything's changed since he was refused his visit visa. This is your family, yeah?
Yeah. That's the stuff I'm taking from my wife, cousin.
OK. Do you have a wallet or anything like that? If I could just check that. Do you have any more cash at all? How much other stuff do you have?
Like
$100, OK. This is a credit card, yeah? How much money do you have access to on your credit card?
$3,000.
Officer Washington accepts that $3,000 available on credit is enough to fund the passenger's trip. But he still wants to find out how the man's circumstances have changed since he was refused a visa.
OK, what job is it that you do in the States?
I drive a bus for the state.
OK, what family does your wife have here?
She has aunties, cousins.
And why hasn't she travelled with you?
She just started a job.
Okay. What's the reason for your trip to the UK?
Visit a friend.
OK, what's your friend's name?
Leanne Mack.
And how did you guys meet?
Through a friend.
OK, how exactly would you describe your relationship with her?
Strictly friends. Not it's not too deep. It's just friends.
Follow me, so we'll put you back in the room, then I'll speak to my Chief Immigration Officer. Hopefully 10-15 minutes. He's saying for a week to stay with a friend. He's saying that he's only known her for since about December time.
So who's looking after the kids?
They're with his wife.
She's starting a new job almost this week.
That's right.
They have 5 kids under 12, and he's chosen to come on holiday.
That's right, and they all live, I mean,
And he's come on holiday to a friend that he really doesn't know anything about, and maybe visit the wife's family, whose address he hasn't bothered to bring with him.
Yeah.
Doesn't sit that well, that. There's one or two areas we'd be quite happy to speak to the wife on. Right, let's ring her up.
OK, I'll go and do that.
The passenger's wife has plenty to be coping with, while her husband visits a friend in Britain. Now Officer Washington has to call her in America, where it's 6 in the morning.
I've got your husband here, and I wonder if I could just ask you a couple of questions about his trip to the UK. OK, and who is it that he's coming to visit? One thing I just wanted to go over, he's saying that the friend he's got here in the UK, he's saying to me he only met them sort of in about December time. But you're saying they're childhood friends. I mean, I don't quite know
how that can be the case. I mean, in terms of the discrepancy. Okay, to be honest, I think that's all I need to ask you, madam. Thank you very much for your help, and I'm sorry about waking you up. I'll go and speak to your husband now. But anyway, thank you very much for helping me. Okay then, bye.
Before Officer Washington can update his boss, he's called to the holding room where his passenger is far from happy. And that's before he knows about the call to his wife.
I understand the Americans are not overly happy. Okay. Hello, sir.
My papers is what you guys require, right? So why am I locked away in a room for 6 hours like I'm a prisoner?
Okay,
now,
sir.
Listen, man, I know some rights too, man. I'm getting fed up.
Okay, so I've explained why you've been locked in the room.
Yeah, but that's crazy. You have everything right there all about me.
I have got it all, sir, and I've just spoken to your wife, and that's what I need to do. I need to go back to my chief immigration
So you
officer.
talk to my wife?
Yeah, I have. She said that this is the person you'll be visiting is a lifelong friend.
Oh, yeah, that's the one I met her through.
Okay, so that
Yeah.
friend lives here in the UK as well?
You know what? Yeah, you live there too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't want another drink or anything like that? Okay.
It's like this.
Yeah,
My life is right there in your hands. That's all me right there.
that's right.
But yet still I'm locked away like a prisoner, man.
Okay, sir.
Getting fed up.
I totally understand that. The decision is going to be made. I'm just going to go and speak to my chief immigration officer about it now. Then once I've spoken to him, we will make the decision, and then it'll be done and dusted. You'll either stay here and go back home, or you'll come into the country and be landed.
Anyone will be fine, man.
Okay, if you just sit down, I'll go and do it now, and I'll be back as soon as I can.
Do we think there's more to this than just a friend?
I honestly don't know. I mean, my initial reaction was that maybe there was. He said, no, we're just friends, nothing more than that.
All I'm bothered about, is he going to do something that he shouldn't do when he's here? And I don't think he is. No. Is he going to go back when he says he's going to go back? I reckon he probably is. Yeah. End of story as far as I'm concerned. There's been a change of circumstances in his favour since the visa was issued.
Yeah.
His wife now has the job.
That's right, yeah.
Finances make more sense. Yeah. It's not up to us to run his family life for him.
Okay.
Let him go.
Now a decision has been reached. All that's left is to tell the passenger.
We're going to land you. So here's your passport back and your ticket. If you want to grab your luggage, you're free to go. The area where we search your bag, if you go through there, you should meet your friend who should be there waiting for you. I'm going to give her a ring now, just to say that you're coming out, okay? All right, no problem.
Every year, over 100 million people go through passport control to get into Britain. Most are welcome and legal. Many are not. For the first time on television, we go behind the scenes of the UK Border Agency, the men and women on the front line of the immigration service. Tonight, the student who can't answer basic questions.
How do you get from Hounslow to your college?
The Piccadilly line from Hounslow to I don't know what stop.
Search teams in Calais working round the clock.
Right, stay there for 1 minute.
And cracking down on illegal workers in Birmingham.
Okay, so I'm detaining you to effect your removal from the UK.
Just the translate, please.
Okay, you are under arrest.
Many operations carried out by enforcement teams are based on information given by members of the public.
Hello, UK Borders Agency.
In the northwest, intelligence is processed here at Brooklands in Manchester.
What kind of passport?
The centre receives over 1,000 calls every month. Today, an enforcement team led by immigration officer Rob Evans is about to act on one of the tip-offs.
And we're going to Tarmin Indian Restaurant, Burnley Cottage, New Road.
They've been told that 2 restaurants in Manchester are employing illegal workers.
Health hazards, cooking utensils.
We've got a warrant, to enter and search the premises. How many staff have you got on?
There's 3 of us.
3? Waiters or
two
kitchen staff?
2 waiters and 2 kitchen staff.
Right, okay. Right, with the immigration service, so we're conducting a visit here at the moment.
We're just sweeping the premises at the minute, and we're just seeing who's actually on the site, and then we're going to identify a sterile area so we can interview all those working.
Can I just ask you to pop over here for me?
It's not quite the efficient execution the officers wanted. And now their intelligence is letting them down too.
Do you know this person? He was meant to be working here. That's the information that we've received, so that's why we've conducted a visit today. So you don't know this person?
There's no date of birth either.
No.
No, you can go back to work, pal. Thanks very much.
2003, you were granted indefinite leave to remain. Okay. They've all checked out, they're all fine. 3 of them got British passports, haven't they? And the guy that's just the last one has been granted indefinite leave to remain in 2003, but he's never been naturalised, but he doesn't have to be naturalised, he can just remain in the UK.
The workers in the restaurant are all entitled to live and work in Britain. They find nothing to suggest the owner is employing illegal workers. All the enforcement team are left with is a bill for a broken table. The enforcement team move on to the second restaurant.
Stop working, tell them to stop working, come out, now.
Officers occasionally film their raids. This is part of their evidence gathering. It helps them to identify whether or not people are found working on the premises.
Make way through there, please. Right, do you want to take a seat for me, please? Take a seat round there. Rob, I'm not sure whether he's a customer or not.
Where are you going? There's no customer.
He says he's a customer, but I don't know whether
Looks like a delivery driver to me. Sit down. You were behind the counter, weren't you?
Just sit inside.
The team find 5 employees. Now they want to know if the men are entitled to work in the UK.
Pakistani, yeah. What's your immigration status in the UK?
इतना किस रहा है हो? Stay वास्ते work permit पर या शादी करके? Visitor.
Your visitor?
He says he just come to see his uncle.
Just come to see your uncle, but you're working here, aren't you?
Your friend?
You telling me you're not working here?
So come with her.
You are. I can tell by what you wear. I can tell by your hands and your shoes and your t-shirt. You're working here.
No, वैसे accident को वैसे तो फिर इसे help कर रहा है.
He says he come in to see him and he was helping him. He says.
Right, can I take your name, please?
Yes, Mr. Mohammed Afzal.
What's your date of birth, Mohammed?
1951.
And what's your immigration status in the UK?
Just about.
You got a work permit?
One worker claims he has a work permit, but he says his passport is at a friend's house. The team check his details.
When did you last enter the UK?
Last, what, 1 year?
May 2007. Who has your passport?
No, he took my passport.
Your friend's got your passport?
Yeah.
I beg to differ, because I've got it.
It's downstairs.
It was in your coat out there. Your passport. So don't be telling us lies that your friend's got your passport. Tell the truth. I've got your passport and your identification card.
No, this isn't mine.
It is yours?
Yeah.
How can you say that's not you? No, it's time to tell the truth now. Tell us the truth. You last came to the UK in February 2006, according to your passport. So you've been here for over 2 years without leaving the UK. Yeah? Yeah. So you're actually here illegally at the moment, aren't you? Yes. And you're working illegally in this takeaway, yes? Yes. Thank you very much. Just stay there.
Two suspected illegal workers are arrested. Both men have since been removed back to Pakistan. Their employer is fined £10,000. In 2007, almost 350,000 non-EU students came to study in Britain. Over 10,000 from Pakistan.
Why have you come here to the UK?
One student has aroused the suspicions of the immigration officers at Heathrow's Terminal 3. He's returning to the UK after a trip home for some unusual surgery. Officer Newbury takes on the case.
We get people going home for all sorts of treatments because obviously in the UK they got entitled for the free treatment on the NHS, so they have to pay for it, and it's quite expensive for them to pay for it, so a lot of them do choose to go home. This is the first time I've had someone go home to have a hair transplant. This is definitely a first for me. He's been away for 6 weeks. The thing that initially tipped off the officer was the fact that I think he said that he travelled direct from Hounslow to his college at London Bridge on the Piccadilly line without actually changing, which I think is actually impossible. You need to change.
Officer Newbury wants to make sure the passenger is a genuine student and that he isn't working more than a foreign student's maximum allowance of 20 hours a week.
Why have you come to the UK? You came in yesterday. Why have you come to the UK?
I said I come for study in Western College, London.
Western College?
Western College.
And what subject do you study?
I said I diploma in study, business study.
Business study?
Yeah, definitely business study.
You said you had surgery in Pakistan?
Yeah, surgery.
What was that for?
Yeah, it's for hair surgery, sir.
Hair surgery?
Hair surgery.
Okay. How much did that surgery cost you?
In currency is £500.
Cost £500 in Pakistan, yeah? Do you work in the UK?
Yes, sir.
What do you work as?
I just work with a recruitment company, and after that they send me some other reports for packing something.
Packing, yeah?
Yeah, just.
Is it just labour?
Yeah, just
with your hands.
Tray,
yeah.
Something straight.
How many hours do you work a week?
Yes, it's 20 hours. 20 hours.
Exactly 20 hours?
Yeah, 20 hours. Because 2 days of work.
What days do you work?
Normally Sunday.
Okay, you say you study 18 hours a week. What days do you study?
Study is Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. I just study 2 subjects, and managerial management.
Is it management or managerial?
Managerial.
Just managerial.
Managerial management.
Managerial management.
Yeah.
And what hours?
It's from 11 to 3.
On Tuesday, what do you study?
On Tuesday is a marketing.
Marketing.
Yeah.
And that's what hours?
It's same hours.
11 to 3.
11 to 3.
And on Friday?
On Friday, same hours.
11 to 3.
Yeah, 11 to 3. Yes.
That's 12 hours a week. Where's the other 6 hours that you say you study a week?
The 6 hours I just spend over there. Sometimes I discussion with the friends. Discussions.
But I'm more concerned about the timetabled hours. Yeah, not meeting up with friends. It's timetabled hours in a classroom with a tutor talking to you about your modules.
Mr. Raymond wants to come into the UK on a student visa. Officer Newbury is not convinced, but needs hard evidence before he can refuse the man entry. In Essex, enforcement teams regularly visit businesses they believe are employing illegal workers. Today's target, car washers in supermarket car parks.
Intelligence has been received that African and South American males are working as hand car washers at supermarket sites and car dealers across Essex. Risk assessment, this is a medium risk operation. All officers and observers to wear issued personal protective equipment and check it's in working order. Specific risks for this operation, officers be mindful of the risk of clean chemicals being used as weapons. Arrests to be made if deemed appropriate.
With the car washers quickly rounded up, the team want to know their identities.
Okay, sir, can I have your right hand?
Using a mobile fingerprint unit, the officers will soon know who is legal and who is not.
Mehdi Bakish?
Yeah.
Right.
Mehdi Bakish.
7 August 77.
Yeah.
Iranian national, male.
Right.
ASU.
Reference
Bravo
111
797.
Yeah, it's Faz.
Faz. Not allowed to work.
A Faz is a failed asylum seeker. This man has been refused permission to stay in the UK.
You're under arrest as a person liable to be detained. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned, something which you later write in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence, all right?
Okay.
Right, before we put you in the vehicle, we need to search you. The guy we've just arrested is an Iranian who has been proved to be a failed asylum seeker, so he doesn't have permission to work. He is removable from the UK if we can find a document at his home address. So that's the intention, is to go to his home address and see if we can find a passport or anything to get a document for him.
She understands, okay? The person allowed to be detained on the Immigration Act, you don't have to say anything, but it may harm the defence.
The team arrest 4 other suspected illegal workers, and their documents must also be searched for. All the men claim to live in the same house, only a short walk away.
Gloves on. A lot of these places are all multi-occupancy, lots of foreign nationals all living in bedsits and paying a lot of money to landlords. OK, start searching. Do you want to take that side, or are we going to do it methodically? Passport is the essential thing which we're trying to find. That's the key to everything. Passport or anything with proof of identity. Because without that, the Iranians won't entertain any application to get him a document whatsoever. It's very rare that we find them, but one day we will do.
Searching can be a dirty job, but this time it's a dangerous one too.
We've just been advised that one of the detainees we were arrested is a possible heroin addict, so we've got to watch out for sharps. Julie, we've got some drugs in the back room here which may relate to the heroin user. Do you want to ask him if they are his and if he needs them?
The team find a heroin substitute, but no documents with ID.
Got from the library.
However, Officer Dan finds evidence of a misdemeanour that falls outside his jurisdiction.
2006. If we can't nick him for immigration offences, we're looking for an open book library, yeah? Yes.
But because the book is a manual for a jet fighter, the team alert Special Branch just in case. At Terminal 3, the foreign student who went home to Pakistan for a hair transplant is still being questioned by Officer Newbury.
Where do you live in the UK?
Sir, I live in Hounslow.
Where is your college based?
In this college is in Bro High Street.
Where, sorry?
Bro High Street, B-R-O-U-G-H.
Borough High Street?
Yeah, Borough High Street.
Okay. How do you get from Hounslow to your college?
Sir, I go to Hounslow by tube.
Okay, so I want you to explain to me what your route is. I know you told the officer earlier that you go direct from Hounslow to London Bridge on the Piccadilly line,
yeah,
which
Piccadilly.
you can't do.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I want you to explain to me what your route is.
Yeah, I told you, it's Piccadilly line from Hounslow to, and I don't know, is some stop I put off and change something other.
You don't know what stop that is?
Pardon?
You don't know what stop?
Well, I don't know what stop, but I think so. I just take in is other line one, because most of the time I go with my friends.
One of my colleagues contacted your college and asked them to confirm your attendance on your course. What do you think they said to us?
Okay, sir.
You don't know? Okay. They've confirmed to us in writing that you've not attended your college since September 2007.
No, sir, it's not possible.
Not possible. You're saying that they're lying?
Yeah, it's been lying.
Okay.
But one letter I have also.
Well, that's what they've sent us. Okay, that was sent to us. Okay, since September They've confirmed to us in writing, as you can see, that you've not attended any classes. They've also confirmed what modules you should be studying, and they're not the ones that you've told me today. So how do you explain that? I'm inclined to believe what they're saying. So I want you to tell me, what have you been doing in this country since September 2007? You don't know?
No, sir.
Stop the interview for the moment, and I'll come back and speak to you a bit later, and we'll try and get to the bottom of this. It's quite obvious that he's been caught out. He's played the game. I assume he's been working for the last 6 months, probably full time. He's probably made a bit of money out of it. He's been caught, but he just won't admit it.
If there is clear evidence a foreign student is working more than the permitted 20 hours or is not attending his course, he will be refused entry. Officer Newbury refers the case to the Chief Immigration Officer.
Do you think, in your opinion, that we have sufficient information as things stand for us to cancel it without necessarily having the information from the employers?
Yes.
From the interview notes that you've done so far?
From interview notes and from what the college has sent us this morning, I think we have got sufficient information to cancel his UKRP and return him back to Pakistan.
Right, fine. I'm authorising that recommendation.
Okay, I've actually spoken to the Chief Immigration Officer with regards to your case. He has decided to believe what the college have said, because they have no reason to lie to us, and we are going to be refusing your entry to the United Kingdom, cancelling your visa, and returning you back to Pakistan on the next available flight. Okay?
You do not give me a right of appeal?
That's what I was going to come to next. So those are two options that you have in front of you. You can either stay in the UK for 5 days to appeal, and you'll be in detention for 5 days, or you can return to Pakistan and you've got 28 days to make an appeal out of country. So I need to know now what your option is, what you decide you want to do.
I want to appeal here.
You want to appeal in country, you want to stay for 5 days in detention. Yeah. You won't be allowed entry into the UK, you're aware of that? Yeah? Okay. The basis of your argument going to be that the college is lying.
Why college send like this letter?
What do you think the judge will think, though, when he sees this written information from the college confirming, in writing, signed by the college, saying that you've not attended for 6 months? You're going to spend 5 days in a detention centre to appeal against this, just on the fact that you think that the college is lying, and you're insisting on staying in this country to appeal,
yes,
even though you've got nothing to appeal against.
Yes.
You're just going to waste everyone's time.
Yes,
it's a waste of our taxpayers' money, isn't it? Well, I've tried to help, but that's it. Okay, I'll pop you back in the holding room now.
Thank you very much, sir.
Would you like to follow me, please? Well, he's got a right of appeal, but he's got no case. I'm not sure what he's going to base his appeal on. He's just trying to waste everyone's time, and he knows it. And it's just frustrating. There's not a thing we can do about it.
The man was granted temporary admission to lodge his appeal. He later withdrew the appeal, but remains in Britain awaiting the outcome of a judicial review. In Essex, the enforcement team has moved on to another supermarket car park, and they think they're on to more illegal workers.
Hello, mate, from immigration. You got any ID on you? You got a wallet? One of these. You got one of these? In the pocket? Yeah, anything in there with your name?
No.
Okay, just wait with me, then we'll come and have a chat. Stay with this gentleman here.
Officer Dan has found a worker who isn't too keen to answer his questions.
Tango Alpha Lima.
Where's FM gone?
Yes, sorry. I haven't seen it.
Right, keep the radio clear, please, guys. I think we've got runners. Yeah, a guy in his late 50s, 5'5", unshaven, dark skin, Iranian national.
The two people have run off from the site have been picked up and we put the call out to the local police, and looks as if they've been detained by a local police unit.
Oh, here he is. Thank you, gentlemen.
No worries.
Well, I thought it was one, but he was the one, yeah.
The team are reunited with their runner, along with two others they didn't know had
You
gone.
two come over here. Yeah, well, you ran away, mate. You shouldn't have done that.
To remove illegal workers, they must first find evidence of who they are and where they're from.
What's your name?
Muhammad.
Mohammed?
Hussein.
Hussein?
Yes. Akdar.
Passport?
No passport.
No? Pourquoi pas?
No.
Address?
No. Address?
Yeah.
Here?
Chris, what's a wallet in French? A portefeuille? No. Gentlemen, you've been arrested by the police. You're further arrested as persons liable to be detained under Schedule 2 of the Immigration Act. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Do you understand? Probably not, but no. You're under arrest. Right.
Everybody have children, everybody have wife, everybody rent house, my Iran, no, but everybody no working, no free. I will stay here.
Well, you're not allowed to, are you? You're not working legally. That's what it's all about.
Thank you very much for your help.
There's people in this country who haven't got jobs.
In the two car parks, the team arrested 11 suspected illegal workers. All were Iranian nationals. One man is later removed from Britain. The others are on reporting conditions, while the Immigration Service await their travel documents. Dallas Court in Salford is one of Britain's 14 immigration reporting centres. This is where illegal workers are asked to report, as well as foreign criminals and asylum seekers. Each is given a registration card that stores personal information, such as fingerprints. This means the border agency knows where people are while their cases are decided.
Fortnightly, every 2 weeks. Okay, so next week you don't need to come. Week after, you come.
In return for registration, many are given upwards of £33 a week to live on.
Maybe fingerprint, please.
Today is no ordinary day at the reporting centre. Immigration officers are plotting to arrest and deport a known sex offender. They watch him arrive on CCTV. His victim was a 12-year-old girl. He thinks he's here to report as usual.
There's several warnings, violence warnings against this young man, and it's part of the contingency plans that we have police officers present. Risk assessment dictates that police officers will be present on the day. But yeah, there are warning signs, so I've got to take the necessary measures to make sure that I'm safe and all the other staff are safe.
Playing it cool, they let him enter the building. Watching him closely, they are in no rush to make a move.
He'll go into the main reporting centre to sign on, as he does every single week. When he does, I'll go and I'll approach him then and just ask him to leave the reporting centre, and I'll bring him round to the detention room. He'll be allowed legal representation, he'll be allowed to phone his family. So, and that'll be it.
Fresh from prison, he's wearing a tag.
We're just going to go into the back office now and I'm going to take your tag off. Okay. All right. I've got some papers to serve and I want to explain them to you, but you'll be all right.
Officer Emmett is doing his best to keep the situation calm.
Let's have a seat in here, fella. Sit yourself down over here, young man.
Morning.
Sit yourself down. Which leg are you tagged on?
That one there.
That one. When you put your foot up there, to keep still. Take your foot. Right, I mean, obviously I've taken your tag off today. What I'm going to do is now is serve papers. I've been instructed to detain you today, pending your deportation from the United Kingdom. What's going to happen now is one of my colleagues is going to search you. You've been searched before. That's to ensure your safety and our safety. So could you just stand up, please? Okay. Step away from this one. Put your hands up for me, thank you. No, is there a necklace on you, nothing? Just pull your pockets out, that's it. That's it.
Thank you.
Do you understand what's happening? That's it. Yeah.
If it's possible to notify my legal representative.
I'll be doing that straight away. I'll be faxing everything that you've been told today and every form that you've had served on you today. I'll be faxing that in the next 5 minutes to your solicitor. Okay.
And is it possible to come or not? Because she's actually waiting for me.
Right. These gentlemen will make that decision.
Where is she?
She's at home.
She's at home?
Yes.
We'll have that, Gaz.
I have no objection to that.
Okay, let's talk together, Gaz. Have you got a number for contact?
As soon as I get a movement, mate, I'll get it back up. Yes, hello, ma'am. Sit down. Can you sit down, please? Yes, ma'am, sit down. Okay, I want you to sign in today.
So 2 numbers.
And detaining me. They're about to take me to London now.
He served the full 4 years of his prison term. His deportation is the final part of his sentence. It's one thing removing people who shouldn't be in the country. It's quite another stopping them before they get to the UK. The port of Calais provides one of the best opportunities for illegal entry. Living rough just outside the port are hundreds of people. Their aim is to try and outfox the immigration officers. In 2007, immigration officers stopped over 12,000 people trying to cross the channel.
No seal.
Officers John Cassidy and Emma Matthews are starting their shift. They'll spend the night checking trucks just before they board ferries bound for Britain.
We're now 2:23 in the morning. We're in the shed at Calais, and we're trying to find illegal entrants hiding in the back of vehicles. At the moment, I'm going to use a CO2 unit probe. The probe is inserted into the vehicle where it will draw air in. The air will be analysed by this machine here. It'll tell us how much the CO2 reading is compared to the oxygen. It's an indicator. If there's a lot of CO2, it could possibly be someone inside.
Because I'm near the exhaust, when you probe at the front, it picks up the fumes when the vehicle first comes in. So you can get quite a lot of false readings. Yeah, I've got 500.
Technology is a useful tool, but so are experience and a nose for the job.
Often the people we're looking for have been sitting around campfires. They usually live a bit rough in the woods, etc. And they can smell the campfires they sit around. So that very strong burning smell that associated with a bonfire as such. Plus, cleanliness tends to go out the window slightly once they've been living rough for a few weeks. So they have a very distinctive smell about them that you can often get the minute you open the door. You've got some footmarks, haven't you?
Has he got a German passport? Has he got a German passport?
So I've got a feeling it's probably clear because the way the boxes are collapsing underneath Mark's knees, I'm sure they would have left some marks if they'd actually crawled up the same space. But it has got a strong smell of burning in here. They're a little bit weak. Sometimes you go through these, they look fairly rigid as you go across, and all of a sudden they just give way underneath you. So you have to be careful. Plus it's people's loads. You know, they're expensive cargo sometimes, and you try to be careful as you go across them. I think it's fairly clear under here.
No sign of any stowaways.
Haben Sie Leute da rausgeholt?
But the team check if the driver has made any stops where illegal entrants may have got in.
That's fine. Dankeschön.
That's good, Mark. I didn't know you spoke Spanish.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'll be the same.
Whiffed in there, didn't it? Oh, I thought there was definitely something in there.
It's very promising when you opened it, yeah. Well, bring on the next contestant then, I think.
The Nigerian sex offender has been held in a London detention centre for a week. Today, he's being deported. No one is taking any risks. 4 security guards will escort him all the way to Lagos, Nigeria.
Into that search room, please.
In 2007, over 4,000 serious criminals, including murderers, sex offenders and drug dealers, were deported from Britain. On arrival in Lagos, the security guards will hand him over to the Nigerian authorities. It's now 4 in the morning, and so far the search team in Calais have not caught anyone trying to cross the border. Every week, search teams open up around 4,000 trucks looking for illegal entrance. And with an average of more than 30 fines a day, the officers are not giving up yet. The team get a lorry that's come from Belgium. They want to take a closer look. Before opening up, they photograph the lock. This proves the truck is sealed and the driver has protected his vehicle from being used as a free lift to Britain.
Got a reading with the CO2 probe at the back that was relatively high, which makes us think we ought to have a look inside. It indicates that there's a high CO2 reading. It could be nothing at all, but the fact there is a reading there means we have to check it out.
The truck's carrying sofas wrapped in plastic. The only way to find out if someone's inside is to get in and search.
I would say there is a strong smell.
The smell isn't the only clue that the truck may be carrying more than freight.
Okay, the cushions have been removed from the sofa. If you look at the rest here, they've sealed up the cushions inside. So the minute we saw that this was outside, it means someone's been disturbing it. And obviously they're trying to hide. And what they've done is, you might see your head right down the bottom there. You'd have to come quite forward. Line down there, see his head?
Not right now, I just want to see how many there are.
Can you see that in there? Have you got him? So there's at least one, but the way these are going here, there could well be a few more. Matt, I'll be very surprised if he is the only one.
All I want you to do, mate, is just grab my legs.
Oh, we've got 2, at least. Tickets? No tickets? End of the ride then, Jed.
Stay there. Stay there.
Wait.
Okay, then we'll get you out one at a time, all right? Do you understand? Do you understand? Okay. It's all right, stay there. Right.
Wait.
1 minute, yeah?
One, stay.
Maybe they cut.
Chief Immigration Officer Kerry Lockie wants to know how the stowaways got in without the driver knowing.
What we're doing is we're checking the tilt cord. This is the tilt cord that goes through all these latches here on the tarpaulin. We're just checking to see whether it's been cut and pinned, as they call it, because this was sealed. So the only way that they could possibly have got in is by cutting it and then resealing it so that the driver, when he does his checks, he wouldn't be aware that they've been able to get in.
They're very, very quiet, aren't they?
We often find that Indians are one of the most compliant personnel we find, and they do as they're told. They just sit there very quietly, a bit disappointed, but they're usually good as gold. They come out quietly, they don't give any trouble, they give you their names when you ask them. This is what we want, this is what we're here for. A night becomes a long night with just the same old lorries and no results. This reminds me what it's all about.
Just start extracting the first one out.
Okay.
Okay.
What they've done here is they've cut through the tilt cord and they've pinned it back together and glued it as well. You will actually see that there is actually a pin in there. So it's very difficult for the actual driver to see what's gone on there. And by pulling it, because what the lorry drivers tend to do is will go along and pull the tilt cord to make sure that it's all intact. Of course, that's not going to give. So he'd have had no idea. their desire to get to England is so strong, so they will do anything to actually get there, and they have people that organise this for them. So they're very skilled, you know, people actually putting them into the lorries themselves. So they know what to do, they know what shortcuts they can take as well. So, you know, it's a hard thing to call for the lorry drivers, really.
The team will fingerprint and photograph the two stowaways before handing them over to the French authorities. But without the documents required to send them back home, on this occasion, all the French can do is remove them from the port. It's estimated there are around 1 million illegal immigrants in Britain. One of the jobs of the UK Border Agency is to track them down and remove them from the country.
Right, this briefing is for Operation Bernards. Op Bernards concerns a visit to a sweet centre called Mushtax.
A Midlands enforcement team are preparing to raid a cake shop or sweet centre which they believe is employing illegal workers.
None of these gentlemen show up in any Home Office records as having entered the UK lawfully, and none of them show up as having made any applications for further leave to remain.
This is not the first time they've targeted the shop. The last time, the suspects escaped from the back of the building. Today, the element of surprise is key.
Stop! Stop! Stop!
The team splits, with some officers heading for the accommodation upstairs. They find one man still in bed, fully clothed.
Shoes? Shoes in.
Don't move!
So have you got any idea at all, any bank cards, anything with your name on?
All the Southampton.
All in Southampton.
Yeah.
How did you get up here?
Huh?
How did you get here?
5 years.
No. How did you get here from Southampton? Did you drive? Did you get the train?
No, it come in bus.
In the bus?
Yeah, in bus.
Haven't got a bus pass or anything like that?
Got a wallet? Huh? Wallet? Sorry?
A wallet. Yeah, John, we've got an Afghani chap up here. Having a bit of trouble communicating with him, but he says he's in the system, so he should come up on live scan. Can I take him downstairs to get that sorted?
We need some papers. ID papers, bank card, driving licence.
All the.
So you have nothing?
Nothing here, my friend.
Yeah, I think quick check's the quickest way of doing it. He's not even sure how to spell his own name, so I'll bring him down now. Have you ever used one of these before? This doesn't store your fingerprints, it just scans them and it checks them, it sends them off, and it checks them with our systems, okay? That's great. Take a seat again, and we'll know exactly who you are in 5 minutes.
Do you have any ID?
Everyone in the shop is questioned, even those who have just come in to buy a cake.
Oh, it doesn't matter, we're still going to speak to him.
Você apply kita siete onu. Visitor, but visitor 6 months maximum. Yeah. 6 months to arrived as a visitor 4 years ago. Allegedly applied for an extension of stay. Hasn't had an answer.
So what's his full name, please?
Got full name Rashid Hussain.
Thank you very much. Is there any other name?
No.
He said he came in 4 years ago as a visitor and has apparently made an application for an extension of stay.
Everyone who is legally in the UK should be on record, but the unfortunate customer doesn't seem to exist.
Yeah. I think he might have given bogus date of birth.
No trace. Yeah, we'll put him on the quick check unit.
If the man has applied for an extension to his visa, he should be on the Home Office database. It's bad news for the customer.
Yeah, he's come back as no match and that's nothing on the system at all. It means he's not known to us as an asylum claimant at this point.
OK, right, if you can just listen carefully to what we're going to say. I'm arresting you on suspicion of being an illegal entrant in the country.
And now the results have come through for the Afghan worker found upstairs.
OK, here we go. We've got a possible identification. Khaled Kakasar.
Yeah.
It's not what you told me earlier.
Sorry, I have...
Came in on the back of a lorry in Dover. Is that what happened? You came in the back of a lorry? Yeah, of course it was. You have exhausted all your appeal rights to be in the UK. Okay, so I'm detaining you to effect your removal from the UK.
Just translate, please.
Okay, you are under arrest. Come on, mate.
Yeah, sorry, with me.
Okay, no. You're going to go straight to that. No, you're going to have to go straight to that.
Listen, please,
No, I'm sorry. It's too late for that. You've lied to us already. You're going to have to go straight to that.
Somebody, you just look at
You've hid that? Is that his? Yeah, he's hid it.
It turns out the arrested customer does have an ID card. It was under the counter. He'd thrown it there when the officers turned up.
Got the date of birth the wrong way round. He told us 1st of the 5th, not 5th of the 1st.
With the man's details, the immigration team confirmed he arrived as a tourist 4 years ago. His visa expired and he stayed in Britain illegally. The customer is later released on bail to wait for his removal papers. He's told to report to his local reporting centre. He does. The worker is sent home to Afghanistan and the owner is fined £10,000.